If someone is in the office here in Kampala and they have gone to Alibaba and they have seen something that they want, can they send you a link and you get this thing for them?
Yeah, some people don't actually know that. We can. People always send us links, actually not only from Alibaba, from other applications or websites. I always tell people you can customize your own products. Yes, maybe if you want to do a certain bag brand, you can get a Chinese company that is going to produce this brand for you and do everything for you, including the logo or customization, and send you goods here when they're already customized to your own logos.
When you look at the type of products that you're bringing in, what would you say are the most popular products that people are importing?
Kids products make a lot of money. You know, when a parent is spending on a kid, most times they may even spend before they spend on themselves. It means these products are not seasonal because these kids are always home. They're here to stay.
There are stories that we hear of people who have ordered things. The sample comes, the sample is excellent, then they order for a whole container and it is different. What is this?
Now, Chinese are very tricky people to deal with, I should say. Some people go all in and pay 100% of the money they have to pay to the suppliers. And that's when you get to know, I do a lot of marketing online, a lot of marketing. I even have a team of people on ground that go to take our flyers, the fans and all that.
Really?
Yes, downtown to market.
Really?
Yes, I have a team of people that go downtown to market to make sure we are on ground and online. They go to Wachiseka, Sacha Maria, Pioneer, Coach, all those buildings in town because that's where our clients are.
Looking for clients to ship from.
Yes, in China, if you're buying a lot of products, you're going to get at the least price. Because I know of a trader who actually loads a container every single day from China. It means in a month they take 30 containers. So now these people stand a very, very good price in the market. That's why you see some people are saying, no, but then Ngamuchikubo, they are selling this price. Then how come here, man? Those people are buying very large quantities. Another big problem is you importing something for someone and you call this person and they leave their goods for 1 year at your store. Yes. Actually, it is the biggest problem. When someone tells you, I had my mother sick in hospital and then maybe I've been offline, I sold my phone to contribute to that. You get what I'm saying? But now I really need these knickers because they're going to help me still now pay this bill. And then you auction them. You're really going to feel bad as a person even if you had that contract.
When someone wants to come with you to go to China to inspect with their own eyes, do you do this?
Yeah, we actually do it. We had a trip to the Canton Fair. That is the biggest trade show in the world, I believe. So we were there with over 18 people, and they were so excited. Yeah, they were so excited. I was on the same flight with them. We did everything for them, starting from paperwork. They only had to give us their passports. You see, the people I went with, I had people I went with on this recent flight that are in different industries here. Some are in the food industry. They have their own restaurants, hotels, and bakeries and all that. So someone will just go to China to see how do their restaurants operate.
Or to go and buy
Yes,
a meal, sit
yes,
there and be
sit.
served that
Yes, and
experience.
see. Because they own a restaurant in Uganda or a hotel, and they know China is very good at restaurants and their food industry is good. Someone will just go and sit and just watch. Okay, so this is how they manage to serve all clients at the same time without delays. They note that. Okay, this is how they maintain the food warm all through. They note that.
Thank you for coming on the show, Brian. I'm very excited to have you here. For those who do not know you, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Thank you for having me. My name is Brian. I'm so excited to be here. So I'm called Brian Kintu, CEO of Bryan Logistics. This is a company that deals in logistics mostly, but we as well do other things. That includes sourcing. We actually help clients buy things from China. In case someone is looking for something from China, they can't go to China maybe at the moment. We can help them go to markets, go to factories, and find the product they are looking for, and as well assure quality. And then we also send money to China. People that really want to pay their suppliers, maybe they're having suppliers online, they are talking and all that. So now it's time for them to send money to that country. So we help them send money safely to their suppliers. We actually as well help people that are going to China for the very first time go through the markets, factories. So first we get you from the airport. You know, some people are new in the country, they know where to go and all that. So we get you from the airport, we book you a hotel, we help you, you know, go around, get what you need in China. Maybe when it comes to the networks, getting you the lines, you know, getting you started in the system and knowing where to get the money from, where to change the money from, all that, where to find the local food. You know, most people that are going to China for the very first time are really scared about, you know, eating the Chinese food and all that. So we help them find the Ugandan food. We help them go to suppliers, factories, because we know China very well, and it's a team of people. So we help you get here and there and get what you want in China. And then another thing we do is we do shipping from China to Uganda, but we are strictly for now doing air cargo. We are actually yet to open up in Dubai as well, but right now we are doing China. So in case you have packages leaving China coming to Uganda, we help you transport them here and clear everything for you successfully. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. If someone is in the office here in Kampala and they have gone to Alibaba and they have seen something that they want, can they send you a link and you get this thing for them?
Yeah, some people don't actually know that, but I've had clients that have something they want and they will just forward you a link and they say, Brian, I want this. So you can advise before you actually use their link to buy and probably tell them, now this link will not lead us to the right thing we want. So you can advise and get them either another supplier or try to find the product they really want with their links. But we can. People always send us links, actually not only from Alibaba, from other applications or websites. And then we can help them source the product and get it here. Yeah, sure.
When you say source the product, what do you mean exactly?
Now, sourcing requires someone going to the market or actually helping that person find the product, follow what they need according to the specifications. Let me say someone wants a phone. It should be maybe a 256 storage. It should be 8 GB maybe of RAM. So you should follow all those the specifications from the client. So now sourcing includes you looking for a product and then making sure it is the right product someone wants. So that is sourcing. Either going to the market physically to look for the products or digitally. Yeah, it is still all sourcing.
Do you go to the market yourself?
Yeah, we do always. Yeah, physically.
How do you manage the language barrier?
Language is actually, they are trying to work on the English. Now, if you look at China of, let me say 2009 and China of 2026, it's actually getting different. Now, every Chinese is trying to learn English, at least a little bit, because they know now they are dealing with international trade. They are not trading within themselves. So it is now easier actually than before. Most Chinese are learning English and they have translation apps. And then we also, you know, use some little Chinese here and there, just like they try to use some little English here and there. So communication is not a problem, especially to these that are exposed to the trade. And most of them are, by the way, with foreigners. So it's not much of a problem right now. But in case someone is disturbed, that's why we need to guide them through the market. Yeah, sure.
So if I'm the one who is dealing with you, I will only be dealing with you. I don't have to worry about the supplier, the one in China. I just tell you what I want and then you go and source. When you go to the factory and you have seen, maybe I want, I'll say bags, for example. If you get to the bags, how do you deal with me as a client? Maybe you have seen 10 bags and I don't want any of those. I want maybe a different design. How does that happen?
Now it depends. Actually, it actually depends on the client, what they want. Some clients would want you to go to the factory, make a video call, and they get to select. Then we have client number 2 who want to give us a sample. We send it to China. Okay, and then the supplier has to look at it first. And then there's client 3 who doesn't actually care, as long as you get them what they showed you. Maybe they just want a pink dress, maybe 5 black dresses, and they're not mindful about the quality and all that. Just get me these dresses. So it depends on what the client wants. But we as well first brief them and tell them, for quality assurance, you can give us a sample. We can send it to our China office, and then someone will go with that sample to the factory or the supplier, or we can reach there and actually give them a call. You know, China has a time difference over 5 hours. So sometimes if it is inevitable, we can go get all the videos or information the client wants, we send them, and then the client will have a look and we can go back and just make everything is in line, just make sure everything is in line. Yeah.
What is the typical timeline from when I have told you I want something to actually receiving it here? You said you use air, right?
Yeah.
How long does it take for me to receive the thing?
Now air is categorized into 2. We have express cargo and then we have normal cargo. So express cargo, I have to explain. So normal cargo is done by a cargo plane. So that will take about 7 to 14 days for someone to have their things here. So someone will wonder, but then a plane will only take just a few hours or days, and then things are here. So why are you giving them to me in about 2 weeks or 1 week? So we have to go through the process here. That is clearance. You have to deal with revenue, and then sometimes it depends on the airline you're dealing with. Some airlines have stopovers and all that, but within 3 days, the cargo is here in Uganda. So we take most of the time clearing and making sure everything is in line with the revenue system. Yes.
Talk to me about the revenue part.
I will not say it is frustrating if you have everything in line. By the way, those people just want organized people. As long as you have your packing list, okay, as long as you've done all the checks, and then as long as you go through the process very well, it is not so straining like people say. However, of course, you get some challenges here and there. Because some clients, if you don't really check, sometimes people will put things that they did not declare. Someone told you, I'm bringing dresses, but then inside dresses, they've wrapped something that is not even allowed here. So that is when you go back and forth with revenue, but it's not as tight as people say. Yeah, it depends on how organized you are and how you prepared yourself to clear.
But there is a complaint about the shock, the sticker shock when they see the revenue bill. They are surprised. Are you able to, not to calculate, but are you able to, not even to suggest, but to give an estimate of what the revenue cost will be when the item lands here? So that when the customer is placing the order, they already have an idea of what the cost might be landed here in Kampala. Are you able to give this?
Yeah, it actually gets better with air cargo than it is with sea cargo. Because now with sea cargo, it is very hard. You actually give maybe your packing list and everything to your agent, and they may also fail to find the right figures for you. Because you may tell them, this is my maybe CIF, and they know it, okay? That is the cost, insurance, and freight, because that is where everything starts. That's what they tax, you get? They know it, but then they will fail to actually get you the final tax. But then with air cargo, we charge in kilograms. So we very well tell the client, maybe a kilogram is going to pay this much, and that will have your shipping and your tax. So for us, we do everything at once. So that client has a figure they have already, and they can even do their calculations and know the profit before they even ship. So we have one figure that we charge. That will include the tax. It will include shipping and all handling. Yeah.
If someone wants to get a fridge or a TV, how would you even handle that?
It actually depends. People bring things as big as cars on the plane. Yes.
They don't care about the weight.
No, they don't actually care about the weight. Now, with air cargo, you're only going to be limited by the amount of resources you have, because they are going to charge you by weight. So someone can say, I want a car and it is weighing a ton, but I don't mind paying for a ton. And then this other person is going to say, now if I get these much dollars they charge per kilogram and I multiply by the weight I'm having, I think that is a lot of money. And then this other person will say, I think I just want this thing very, very, very fast, so I don't mind about how much they are going to charge. So that is what is going to set a difference from one client to another, but you can import even bigger things. So in case of a fridge or a TV, I believe someone can import it by air cargo. But then at the end of the day, if you're doing business and you do the math, are you really going to be making profit? If you decide to put a fridge on air freight, it's really going to be so expensive for you. So it depends on what you're going to use the product for. Are you aiming at profit making, or it is for your own consumption? You get what I'm saying? And then business people that are bringing in heavy things will actually go with sea cargo, because it is going to save them a lot. The fact that they don't even charge according to your weight. They're going to charge by CBMs, okay? That is cubic meters. It means they're going to care about volume or how big your package is, not the weight, because they're using a container. So if you have a fridge, they're going to just tell you, okay, now your fridge is taking this much space off the container, and that is what you're going to pay for. Even if it is weighing 2 tons, they don't mind that most times.
When you look at the type of products that you're bringing in, what would you say are the most popular products that people are importing here?
I may not be particular with the products themselves, but maybe the categories the industries. Yeah. So cosmetics.
Really?
Yeah, that is a plus. People are making a lot of money from that. However much it is one of the products that have a lot of taxes with revenue.
Really?
Yes, a lot of taxes. You find its import duty going up to about 35%. That is a lot. import duty about 35%. You find exercise about 10%, VAT about 18%.
All that together.
Yes, all that together, and they are supposed to be taxed off the CIF. You'll even find that they even have to pay infrastructure levy as well, about 1.5%. There are so many taxes that are imposed on such goods. But then still people go for them because they are high profit. Wow. Yes, someone will get the VAT back after selling the product. Wow. Yeah, they are overtaxed, but people ship them in a lot. Because in the day-to-day or in the modern world, I believe women are getting crazy with beauty and all that. Now, beauty standards really matter a lot.
Yes.
So you should look at industries that are growing very fast and actually are solution-based, because now cosmetics are solution-based products. They offer a solution to a client. So things that actually offer a solution to a client are highly in demand. Okay, that's why you find cosmetics. That's why you find the weight loss pills and all that. Yes. I don't know if you've seen so many women in town making a lot of money. I will not mention names,
right.
but women that have been selling cosmetics, weight loss, and these Vaselines, women skin care. Yes, they've made a lot of money. They're billionaires.
Really?
Yes. And then we have another industry of kids products. Kids products make a lot of money. When a parent is spending on a kid, most times they may even spend before they spend on themselves. So they're going to buy this kid this and that, especially for the stay-home kids. That is around age 0 years, months, and then to about 3 years before they go to school. It means these products are not seasonal because these kids are always home. They're here to stay. Okay, so that is one industry that is also making a lot of money for people. That's why you see now people bringing in kids' shoes and all that, kids' clothes. And then we have things to do with phone accessories. Big time money is being made there because now everyone is
phone covers and the chargers.
Anything to do with a phone, because now you realize if you look at the years back, maybe in the 2000s and all that, phones were not much of a deal. But right now, I think starting from 16, 15 years, everyone has a phone. So phone care products are actually taking toll of the market.
Really?
The phone jackets, the covers, the chargers, and you realize they really die out so fast.
True.
Someone is going to buy about 2 cables in a month. So they really make money because they are low-cost products at the market or at the China market. Someone is going to be buying a USB at about 700 shillings or 1,000, and they are selling it about 10,000 here. The profit margins are crazy, because they are highly demanded here in Uganda. So many other products, I should say.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to ask about the true cost and profit. The USB example that you gave is one. What other examples can you share about the profit margin that is being made? Why people actually want to go to China to buy these things?
Why people want to go to China? Maybe I should talk about things like cosmetics. Now, cosmetics don't actually have a standard price. That's number one. Someone can bring in their new product here and they set their own price in the market. So before anyone else starts to sell this product, this person is dominating the market with their own price. I can just wake up, ship in a product that you don't know, and it is really working for people, and I'm going to set my own price because it has not been in the market before, and it is solution-based. So all products that are solution-based, that give a solution to a client, you can actually set your own price. That's why they have high profit margins. Actually, even phone accessories are solution-based. Because if someone cannot charge their phone, I believe they have a problem that you have to address. So if you bring in a USB that is charging maybe their phone in 20 minutes, they don't mind how much you're selling it, as long as it fulfills what you're claiming it does. So if it is going to charge my phone in 20 minutes, I don't mind buying it 30,000. Yet you had to buy it only 2,000 in China. Wow. And these are low-weight products. They don't actually weigh a lot. Even if you're to ship them with sea cargo, they don't occupy a lot of space. So I believe they do crazy profits on these ones. And that's why right now so many people are selling phone accessories, and you cannot finish the market.
I have to mention this because I have been seeing phone accessory stores opening up everywhere. And I used to wonder, what is really the profit in this thing? I could not see it, right? But if I'm hearing that a person is buying a USB for 700 to 1,000 and selling it for 10K, and when I'm paying the 10K, it feels like it is nothing, it is worth nothing, right? But the profit that this man is making is just ridiculous. So if I extrapolate that to a huge cargo load, definitely they're making a lot of money, like you're saying. It's quite interesting. Tell me, if someone wants to come with you to go to China to inspect with their own eyes, do you do this?
Yeah, we actually do it. We've had a trip this very April 2026. We had a trip to the Canton Fair. That is the biggest trade show in the world, I believe. So we were there with over 18 people. Yeah. And they were so excited. Yeah, they were so excited. I was on the same flight with them. We did everything for them, starting from paperwork. They only had to give us their passports. Only that. So we had to arrange the trip for them. We had to book a very nice hotel for them. And we had to make sure they really enjoy their stay and it is profitable to them at the end of the day. We were there for about a week. And it was really insightful for them. Most people just wanted to, just go and see around what really happens. Some people were just doing market surveys, and other people were actually buying products from China already, because some people that have things they're selling here, or they are having experience with items, they just want cheaper prices. So they'll decide to go to China. So we take people to China. Actually, I always make trips. We even have another one in October, still for Canton Fair. So I go with people, but then we can also take, maybe if it is one person going or they're going with friends, we can just have you, even if it's not a group. We can have you, we can receive you in China, and then we're going to take you around. We show you markets, factories, we help you just, Yeah, but we really do take people to China.
There was a show that I was watching, Lynn Ngugi, she's a podcaster in Kenya. She had a lady who does the same thing that you do. And she said also that she started taking people to China like this. But eventually the group that she was taking became too big and she could no longer do it, right? So she had to get assistance, right? From these people who were visiting with her first, she had to get assistance. So now she would go every month taking people. She would stop importing for people. She was just taking people to see, and what they go to see does not end. There are things to see everywhere, different factories, different locations, and it grew so big that now she actually went out of it. She just manages it going forward. So when I hear you saying that you started in April and now in October you're already going back, I can see that the growth that she was talking about is already starting. So you need to prepare for this also as well, so that when it comes, you are aware of what's going on.
Sure.
Okay. Tell me, there are stories that we hear of people who have ordered things, right? Maybe they order for a sample, the sample comes, the sample is excellent, then they order for a whole container, and it is night and day, different. What is this?
Now, Chinese are very tricky people to deal with, I should say. There are some really very good Chinese and authentic, but then just like
other people.
Yeah, just like other people, they're also human. There are some Chinese that are not good Chinese or good suppliers when it comes to, importation. The fact that you're not in that country and they know you've actually never been to China, or you have no connection in China, they can easily do that. However, there are various ways of how you can avoid that. There are various ways. So if you're going to pay your supplier, first, number one, because they may not even scam you by sending a good sample and then sending you a bad sample. They may even scam you before they even send either the sample or the final product. So some people go all in and pay 100% of the money they have to pay to the suppliers. And that's when you get to know this person was not at that location. We've got those instances before. People have sent us, they're like, I sent this person money and this person is now not replying me. What should I do? I'm like, do you have their address? This person's like, yes, they gave me this address. There's a lady back in, I think, February that had the same instance happening. She gave us the address of the supplier. I sent one of the team members at office in China to visit that so-called factory, or I don't know, warehouse. And on reaching, the factory was there. We actually went to the factory. This guy went to the factory, but they didn't know the person that was dealing with the final customer. They didn't know the person. So this person was actually in a different country, but collecting money from people in a different country, connecting them to a factory in a different country that he claims to belong to, but they don't even know this person. So sometimes they may not even be Chinese. They may be Nigerians trying to do their best at getting that that money very fast. So you have to be careful, especially with payments. If you're doing payments, you have to be careful. I always suggest to my clients they should pay 30% and then 100% after things are being packed and everything is done. And then getting back to the sample issue being different from what you get when you order maybe in bulk. Now, you may get the sample if you've not worked with this person for a very long time, but if you're getting a full container, let me say, or you're getting a bunch of things after seeing the sample is really nice. And I always recommend people to get samples before. That is also very good and paramount. But then when you go ahead to order a lot of stuff, now you're taking this bigger step. You've gotten the sample, you're so excited. Actually, your clients are taking all the samples that very day you received them, they're buying them. You should not be very excited. You should get any company in China to go and verify your goods. We actually do that. So when you get the sample, probably you're shipping it by air. Let us have one of the products remaining at our office. Maybe you order like two.
The sample.
Yes, like two samples. Let me say you're getting reflector jackets. I'll give an example. Leave us with one at our office. We shall ship one for you. If you confirm this is the right quality that you want, and we have the same quality at our office, we shall go. When you make the payment, we do inspection when they are loading to make sure they've loaded the right things. You know, I got these problems before, so I know how to deal with them right now. Chinese, I don't know, they are very complicated. So quality verification is key for goods that include quality inspection and all that. So I will address that by advising our people to always seek advice from any company in China for verification, because you may get a different product from the sample that you ordered at first. Yeah, sure.
There is a quality certificate that is supposed to be got when the things are coming in, right? Both in China and here as well. Talk to me about that one.
Now that is called PIVOC. So PIVOC is made in China, and now when your things reach Uganda, you're not disturbed by UNBS. So it is pretty much the same. You doing UNBS from here, and then PIVOC is the UNBS in China. So you're doing quality certification in China, that is with PIVOC. So when you reach here, you don't have problems with UNBS. For all goods, actually, air cargo and sea cargo. If you're dealing with sea cargo, it is so paramount for you, because you don't want to bring in something here that does not match with the Ugandan standards, yet it is already here. So you better do it from China before the product leaves China. There are some goods they give PIVOC and others are not given, depending on the quality standards, because they work hand in hand with the UNBS here. So the quality standards here should match the quality standards you're trying to approve in China before shipping from China to Uganda. So PIVOC is paramount if you don't want to get problems with the body here in Uganda, that is UNBS for the standards. Yes.
I also heard that when you go to China, say for example, you're looking for this phone, right? You can find several types of this same phone. And they tell you this is the China, Africa quality.
Okay.
The China, Europe quality.
Yeah.
USA quality.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah. And they're always actually honest with their quality. If you ask them, most people don't ask. You're going to see something looking like something you really know and sure of. But if you ask them, is this copy? They'll tell you, no, this is high copy, or this is original. Is this original? No, this is high copy. They always tell you if you ask them. Some Ugandans don't really mind asking, but Chinese have different grades. They have quality they make for different countries, or grades they make. Maybe this is grade A, grade B, grade C. Maybe this is European type, this is American type, African type, or Chinese type. So it depends. You have to always ask. Because they're always honest if you ask them. But if you don't ask, they'll just give you whatever. Yes.
Do you find that Ugandan importers, do they majority care to ask, or they just go for the cheapest? What do you see?
Now, I believe most importers go for the cheapest option because they believe this is what is going to make the most of the profit for them here in Uganda. But when you don't ask most times, you may get the cheapest but the poorest quality of all, and then you're bringing it here on the market. It's not even going to be bought by. Yeah. So I believe most Ugandans don't really go for quality. Most times they go for the cheapest option on the market,
to make the most,
and that is costing them at the end of the day. They don't realize that you're getting something very cheap, but you're also still going to sell it cheaply here. You get, and then you're not even retaining clients at the end of the day because someone has a better quality. Yes.
When I looked at your TikTok channel, I see that you do a lot of teaching. And you sound like a teacher, inbred teacher. Where is this coming from?
I've had a communication background, I should say. I did mass comm at university. That was Uganda Christian University many years ago. Yeah, I graduated. So I think I've had this right from campus. Because I was doing a communication course, and then it was now easy for me because I'm not new on social media. I'm not really new on social media. So this maybe bred that communication skill over time. And I find it easy to communicate. And I've also been having physical conferences at Equatorium almost times. That's where I've been, holding them from about 3 years now. Yeah. So I've been looking at a lot of people. Yes, a lot of people, about 300, about 300, 200, 400, yes.
And you're teaching them?
Yeah.
What are you hearing from them mostly? What kind of feedback do you hear from them?
Now, I believe most people just don't know where to start from. Now, some people are already doing businesses here. I actually deal with already importers here, and then I also deal with new people that are importing for the very first time. So the importers here, or maybe the traders here, they have been buying from importers, and maybe the importers have been importing, but they've not been to China before. They don't know how everything works, but they just use the available channels to import. So they just come for explanations, getting to understand the nitty-gritties of the business. And then the new people are getting to just get ideas and start off and getting to know the baby steps. How do I start? Which product am I going to start with? How much is required of me? And then what time frame? How does everything work? And then I also work with people that are trying to change careers. Or someone is getting retired, now they need to look at something bigger, or they need to start importation, or they're just trying to get general knowledge about importation and all that. So those are people I've been dealing with. And then what I have from them, or the feedback from them, is I believe these guys are being positive, and they are following the new trend. Because now everyone is importing from China. When you look at TikTok, everyone is now importing from China. So me and my colleagues have been a very big eye-opener to actually people that have been thinking small capital cannot start a business when you import from a different country. Yes.
I like that you mentioned small capital, because my next question is related to that. Sure. Exactly. I saw also that you have a viral video. I think it is 2 point something million views, right? Okay. Tell me about that video, why you recorded it, what you were saying, and what you learned from looking at the comments on that video.
Okay, now I have very many viral videos. That is one of them that I pinned, but I have so many videos that have 1 million plus. That's, you're only supposed to pin 3 videos. But then from that particular video, I was talking about someone starting with little capital, importing from China to Uganda. And then what I got from the comment section is people are positive. They just don't know where to start, or they just need, guidance and clarity on some things that you cannot clarify in just a 3-minute video. Yeah. But then from that video, I was telling people you can start with as low as 300, 500, 700, 5 million and above. People were questioning, how do I start? What can I do? What do I start with? I actually went ahead to explain to the small capital owners how you can go ahead and even get the ideas on TikTok itself. There's a part that has search. TikTok is becoming a search engine right now. So there's that part that has search, where I told people you can go and put sentences like TikTok made me buy, or maybe must buy 2026, or any year that you have to search in. So when you go and search TikTok made me buy, they're going to give you a list of products that are solution-based, or products that are actually not so common on the market. You may start with 1, 2 products. I have different TikToks, actually, people don't know about, and they sell products, and none of them is actually below 50K followers. One is about 200K, another is about 100, and another is about 60K. Wow. Yeah, but people don't know about them. And I'm selling a product. I've been selling this product since 2023. And this video was trying to...
Which product are you selling?
It is a weight loss product, or it is a body toner, body shaper.
The ones you were talking about, the one with the high profit.
Yeah, high profit margin. I was actually the first person to sell that product in Uganda, and I had to set my own price. I was making crazy profits by then. Yes, I was the first person to sell that product in Uganda. It was sold by an American, I think it's an American company that was selling it at first. That's why I got the inspiration, then got to design my own products from China. I always tell people you can customize your own product. Yes, that's why you see these big brands, the Louis Vuittons. You know, we had a terrible, I think, was it last year or last year but one, on social media about these, you know, companies coming out and, you know, telling people we are the ones that manufacture for, you know, this brand,
Yes,
that
yes,
brand.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
I believe
The Chinese company.
yes.
Yes.
So you can customize your own good from China. Maybe if you want to do a certain bag brand, you can get a Chinese company that is going to produce this brand for you and do everything for you, including the logo or customization, and send you goods here when they're already customized to your own logos and your own, I don't know, brand. So that is what I did for that product. Wow. So many different products that can actually change someone's life. It depends. It depends on what someone really wants to sell.
Wow. Go a little bit deeper on the amount. Say someone has, let's say 5 million and below. What can they do, or what options are available for them?
Now, if someone, let me say, has 300,000, let's not even go to 5 million.
Yes.
You can ship jewelry. It's a high selling product. Yes, because it contributes to beauty. And that's what I talked about. This is what I talked about earlier. Beauty products. Beauty products are high selling in Uganda. So jewelry is a very good startup for someone at the university, or a stay-home mother, or any lady. Yes, even men can sell jewelry. It depends, but you know, it is more of a lady's business. But it is one business you can start with very little capital. Number one, it is not sold expensively in China. So you may find just one piece costing you about 500 shillings, maybe 2,000, maybe 1,000, and you're going to sell over 7,000 here. And then it is a lightweight product. So it can even help you ship it by air cargo. It is very lightweight, because if you see a package of about 1,000 pieces of jewelry, it is as small as you get, but there are 1,000 pieces in there. And someone is going to sell, let me say they bought around 2,000 per, let me say, earring pair. Yes, earring pair. They bought it 2,000. They are going to ship it here. Let me say the package has 100 pieces, but it's only weighing 1 or 2 kgs. And they're going to be selling each piece here at around 7,000. So I believe that is a very high profit margin for someone that is just starting up, or someone just trying to grow their capital. Yeah, maybe to 1 million. They're trying to grow it to 2 million and all that. I've had students, successful students, by the way, very successful people that are now even owning shops, but starting from very small packages, because I've been teaching people since 2023. So I have students that are now successful, importing things. Yes, I have put aside with very small packages, but they're now even using sea cargo because the weight is now too much. You cannot put it on air cargo. They use container now. Wow. So it depends on how you want to start, and then the drive. You have that drive, because it may sound easy for you, but then when you start and you cannot market always, you cannot show up for your business, it's also something very different. But very little capital, 300, 500 can start a business from China. You can ship in knickers. Yes, you can ship it in knickers. Very small capital. I'm actually into that business as well. But me, I'm only doing wholesale. Wholesale. I need maybe 100 dozens. I need any amount of dozens you want. Very small capital, but then yielding big profits over time.
And then at the 1 million range?
At the 1 million range, it also depends on what you can ship with the 1 million range. But 1 million range still can go for jewelry. Yes, you can still go for jewelry. You can go for kids' clothes. They also make some good money. With 1 million, you can actually go for phone accessories. However, for phone accessories, I don't advise someone to start with little capital, because phone accessories have a little bit of this, that. So you can, maybe if you've been in that business, get your best seller products. Let me say the iPhone 17 covers are now hot selling for you. So get the iPhone 17 covers from China, because you need more profits on them since they're high selling, and then buy the rest from here if you have little capital. So things like phone accessories, you need to have enough capital, because if you're going to buy a cover for, let me say, iPhones, so now you have 12, it has, 12 Pro, the Pro Max, the Mini, those are already 3 covers, 3, but you need them in over 20 designs. The 20 designs, each design has over 3 colors or 4 colors. You get, that is only for one phone. You have the second phone, let me say you're also dealing in Samsung. Now you have the S20, there's the S20 Plus, the S20, let me say maybe a Pro or the Ultra. So you see how you need a very big capital. But then if you're selling that and you have your biggest seller, that is the maybe iPhone 17 or the 17, you can decide to get the covers for the Pro Max, the Pro, you get, and then you can source others from here, and you just have that one product that is the biggest selling, importing it from China because you need it at a lower price. Since you're selling it a lot, it means you're going to be doing more profits. Then when you get when you grow your capital, you can decide now to go big on phone accessories. Yes,
I have noticed in some there are these WhatsApp forum groups for China importation, right? And I'm a member of some, and I have friends in some, right? But a common complaint that I see is that there is poor communication, especially when they're dealing with someone like you, the importer. There is very poor communication, and people are very frustrated about this, right? How does that come about, and what is really causing this?
I'm going to speak maybe out of experiences, because even before I started importing myself, I was using importation companies, so I can probably share their pain when it comes to communication. But number one, it depends on which company you're using. Actually, some companies communicate. People don't know that, but it depends on which company you've tried. Other companies communicate. There are companies that don't communicate, but then there are companies that actually are good on communication. People will suggest them. So I so believe what makes their communication poor sometimes is because some companies are not organized. So you're going to call someone, they don't even know which consignment you're in.
True.
They don't know what to tell you. So they are going to say, okay, let me get back to you. And probably they are taken up by other clients. Or when they check and your consignment is not yet to be offloaded, they're not going to communicate to you up to when you call them back. So it depends on which company you are using. And then this is still international business, because what we are talking about right here is international business. We are dealing with different stakeholders in the chain. Because when you ask me, I need to get information from the clearing agent. The clearing agent has to get information maybe from the officer, and then the officer has to get information from another party. And then we also have to communicate to the airline. The airline has to approve or has to send us information, not when you ask, but then we're also supposed to call them and they tell us this and this day after you have called and all that. I presume that is what some companies that don't communicate are going through. But then they should put measures on how you want to go about this. I probably think companies should hire more workers. That is what I'm doing with my company. So we are trying to look at communication as something that is really key to the client. Because when you delay, I believe this is international business, and actually some clients understand that you're not a monopoly of the entire chain. There are some parts where you don't even come into play. Just like when you load cargo on the plane, you're just supposed to wait for your cargo to land. So you cannot go with the cargo to know what is really happening on the way, but you have people to ask. So I believe going around the communication problem is by hiring more workers, because you find one worker that has to communicate to all clients is overwhelmed at times. They don't get back to the client even when they have the right information after the call. So I believe that is one way we can solve this. And then we should be working with technology. We are developing a website that will have assistants, AI robots that will give information, so that the client doesn't even have to always call us. They can just go on our website and track their package in real time. We get information from the airline that the package is at ABB, that is Entebbe. We update the system, and when the client puts in their tracking number, they will get the entire information about how the goods are leaving China to Uganda. We actually have that in our system already, and it is already helping us a lot, because we signal the client when we load, when we actually receive the package at our office with the message and a receipt telling them we've received your 2, 3, 4, 5 packages at our office. This is how much your shipping will be, and these are the kilograms you have in your packages. When we load, the system is going to update them again. When we receive the goods at Entebbe, we tell them they've reached Entebbe. When we start clearance, we have pending clearance. When we have them at our store, we have the message going telling them your goods are ready for pickup. So I believe they should embrace technology, because at the end of the day, we are all human. If it is a human handling this communication, at times it may get overwhelming for them. And then since I told you it is international business still, now you may also find some clients, having mistakes they do that will contribute to this poor communication. Because if someone, because I'm going to bring in delays as well, because sometimes this poor communication comes from the delays, and the company or the person working on your goods is also frustrated because they have to communicate to you for, let me give an example of sea cargo. This container is taking over 5 months, and you have to be telling this client, information for in a period of 5 months. But you have delays from maybe revenue, or you have delays from the shipping line, but you always have to keep the client updated. And then I believe communication is also something that shows professionalism. So if you're a company out there doing logistics, I believe you should embrace communication. It is one area I believe logistics companies should improve, and it is one of our key achievements this year. It is what we really want to achieve as a company, and I believe we are 80% there, 80% already there. So embrace technology, get more manpower, and just make your clients key, because now if some people get this business, now the rest they don't want to know, as long as you've given them the cargo. But then at the end of the day, we need recommendations, because you're not going to be always online, advertising every day. You need to at least 1 year sit back and you have your clients recommending other people. So at the end of the day, communication is one of the things that is going to set you apart from other companies, since everyone is complaining about it.
I imported some things from China before. My experience with communicating with that company, actually that company shut down, and I can now see why they shut down. I was the one who was always calling them, me as a customer. I was the one calling them, where are my things? Where have they reached? Can you send me a picture? Send me some form of confirmation. They're in a warehouse in China. They're here. Send me a picture. Send me a video. I was the one who was pushing all the time, right? And when the things came here, they were broken. They were fragile and they were broken. All of them, the whole thing was broken. But fortunately, I had, in the messages when we were communicating, I had told them to tell the shipper to put in the wooden crates, right? So that when they get here, they are. If they're in the wooden crate and broken, that's a different issue. But if they're not in a wooden crate and they're broken, the mistake that I made or did is I paid everything 100%.
Before?
Yes.
Okay.
When I dealt with the person, I paid them 100% because I didn't want them to have any excuse of delays. I had heard about the delays, but I think maybe I trusted too much, right? So they took the money, the things got here, they were all broken. So I told them, I need a refund of my things, so we need to discuss this, right? The lady told me, oh, I don't have the ability to refund, I don't have this authority. Let me refer you to my boss. I said, okay, fine. Referred me to the boss. The boss was out of the country. I started chatting with the boss. The boss said, no, yeah, we'll pay you your money, don't worry. In fact, unfortunately, right now, we don't have cash because we're busy trading. But I'm going to pay you in 4 installments, okay? The first installment on this day, second, third, fourth. I said, this is fine. I didn't care how far out the installments were. I was just waiting to be paid, right? I said, fine. The first installment date came, 0. I sent him a message. I told him, boss, we discussed, as you can see, what's happening. Oh, no,
don't worry.
I think it is, a currency issue or something. I will address. In fact, let me do this. Instead of this one now, let me give you both on the second time. I said, fine.
Second date?
Yes. The second installment date came, 0. I called the man, the phone was not working. Maybe he blocked me. I lost the money, I lost the things, right? A person who is watching and is concerned about this, because this is a real life example that I've experienced. What form of guarantee can they have, or how can they approach this process so that they really don't lose their money?
I've had this experience before, actually, when I was also just shipping with someone. I think the same thing happened to me, and I was not refunded in any way. But number one, what I advise our viewers out there, if you're to give your goods to any company, number one, have a delivery note from them. Let them give you a receipt that they received your goods, because you may even get the goods broken, but there's other people that will never get the goods, and you have nowhere to start from demanding your goods from them. But you say, me, I gave you your goods and all that. Have a delivery note, have a receipt that says, so-and-so company has received your goods, and we have them. Let them tell you the time frame it's going to take for them to ship, because delays may be normal. Since this is international business, a lot of factors come in or come into play. But at the end of the day, even if there are delays, are you getting your goods? Because if you don't get your goods, you've wasted time and you do not even get the money back. At the end of the day, it's pointless. Since you wasted time, no money, no goods. So that is number one. And then have or know where their offices are. There are actually very many yes, here in Uganda and in China. I think we are the first company to show our office in China. Most don't show their offices in China, even in Uganda.
They don't have.
They maybe have, but they just don't show. I don't know the reasons they have. So make sure you have both their office addresses, be it in China or Uganda. However, the Ugandan office address is very important for you since you're in Uganda. And then visit their offices. You can just decide to visit our office before even shipping with us. Just visit the office or the facility, get to know how everything works. Because at the end of the day, you may ship with someone. When you don't get your things, you don't even have where to start looking for them. Since they didn't even give you any receipt to have any information, they are not anywhere online. So you don't have where to start from, even demanding for your goods. Someone will say, I don't have a receipt. Maybe they don't bring them to our warehouse. And then number 3, make sure your goods are well packed before they leave the supplier.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes on the way, as I told you, these people have minimal control. Because if someone has put the container on the vessel, they are not on the vessel. So anything that goes on in between the time the goods leave China to Mombasa, maybe the vessel there's very bad weather, it was shaking, so maybe your goods were next to. I had sofa sets I was shipping before with a certain company. So they put these sofa sets in a container that had spare parts. These are the gearboxes, the engines. So I don't know what happened on that way, but the sofa set was torn by these huge metals. And I was not actually compensated. I just had to go get someone around in Zambia, to repair this part. You get? So that is what I'm saying. If you're ordering for something, make sure if it is fragile, it is packed very well. However, sometimes if you're shipping goods, let me say on air, and you have to put all these, things to guard the product, you're going to end up in very many kgs. Because if you're doing a wooden box, it is going to add, I don't know about how many kgs. But then sometimes it is really paramount, and it is inevitable for you to tell your supplier to pack it very well. And then I also blame shipping companies that don't tell their customers this before they ship, because some people don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to pack my thing like this.
Yes,
so if you don't tell me, if you don't have anything like a notice, when we are giving someone our address, we tell you everything that we want you to do before you send your goods to us. We tell you if they are fragile, please pack them very well. And if they are fragile, we shall go an extra mile to add a sticker, fragile. Since we are not there when they are loading on the plane or when they are offloading, but the only communication we can pass on, even if we are not there, is that sticker, that these goods are fragile. Handle them with care. So if someone sees that, they're going to adjust on how they're handling this package. But if you don't put anything to show that this package is delicate, they will just throw it when they are offloading or loading the goods. So number 1, I'll just give them a short recap. Have a receipt, have their address, and then also pack your goods well if you're to send them here. And then maybe it depends on the company, but make friends around those people that ship your things. Yeah, because at the end of the day, maybe a problem will come and you just have to sit with them. So they will have that humanity if they have some attachment to you as a client. However, some companies don't want to relate. Once business is done, I don't know, you will just part ways once business is done. Yeah.
And there, I know you've mentioned the communication, you've talked about the delays, packaging right now, for example.
Yeah.
Are there other challenges that either the client is facing or you as the service provider is facing that the client does not know, that maybe we need to understand so that we appreciate the service that you're providing?
Yeah, very many problems. I cannot weigh between the problems clients face and the service providers, but I believe clients know the problems they face. Probably they can comment, and we can see. Because I've been a client before, and now I'm a service provider, but maybe I've not faced some challenges as a client. but I've faced them as a service
provider.
provider. So number one, clients make us do mistakes, but then it's not our own making. Someone is going to declare something, but then they shipped something altogether. Just like I told you. Someone is going to say they are shipping dresses, yet inside the dresses, they've put power banks, and you don't know. On air cargo, you cannot ship a power bank. You cannot ship it unless you're doing express. But on the cargo plane, there are some goods that you cannot put. Actually, I always tell my clients, and I give them a category. These are sensitive goods. They are liquids, they are magnets, powders, and batteries, because these pose a threat to other people's cargo. Because this is a cargo plane taking over, I don't know how many tons, but you have a power bank that can cause fire anytime on board. You have a liquid that is flammable. In case there is a fire, it is going to spread this fire very fast. So a client is going to tell you, no, I'm only shipping dresses, because we always ask them so that we help them know the category they're going to ship with, since there are different charges. So I'm like, okay, what are you shipping? This client is going to tell you, I'm bringing in, no, they're just vests. They're just vests I'm going to sell. So you pack, when the goods come, you pack them very well. And when you reach the airport, through the scanner, they are seeing power banks inside this packet, and you're like, I did not get any power banks on my packing list. But then this person wrapped them inside. They thought you cannot know, because when you open the box, all you see are dresses, and you're not going to check inside. But the scanner, they may not miss the scanner, it will detect. And you call this person, you're like, why did you put power banks? Oh, sorry, what not? You get. But then they are going to, if it is on sea cargo, by the way, it is going to cause a very serious problem. Because you're going to make your declaration, or you're going to give them the packing list and tell them, this is what I'm shipping in, since you're starting to clear. Because they need to know what are you clearing for, so that they give you the respective values. So now the officer, on opening the container, doing verification, they are seeing things you did not declare on your paperwork. You get. So they are going to punish you. You know, those people that used to do groupage, since now groupage is phasing out, people that used to do groupage used to find this as a very big problem, because you're bringing in a lot of this and that, you know, different goods. But then different clients are playing different tricks for you. You cannot know. So now when you reach revenue, you're doing verification, they are finding things that you did not declare. So it means you wanted to dodge paying taxes for them. Yet it was not your intention, but it is the client that did not declare these items. Then some clients, now that is even okay. Others will put things that are not allowed to be imported here. Yes. A client can, like drones, or you know, there are goods that are restricted, and you have to have paperwork for them. You cannot just ship in a drone, because it is posing a threat on the defense here.
Actually, you're right. When I was at the airport, I saw, if you're importing a drone, make sure you do this, declare it, and
UPDF,
all that. Yes.
You have to have a UPDF later, because that should be, I don't know, a weapon. What if you use this drone to go and watch over military barracks and all that? So there are some goods that you cannot just ship, but a client is going to keep quiet. They will assume you cannot see it, because they've put it in clothes, in between clothes. So they will assume you will not see it. But they are causing you problems that are going to delay the entire consignment. The entire consignment will not be released until you're done sorting that. Because they know, now if you've been shipping in, let me say 2 tons, but you have drones in there that you did not declare because you didn't know about them, they are going to get the entire consignment up to when you sort yourself.
True.
But it's delaying other people's goods because of one client that did not declare this item, since it is not even allowed, because they know if they give you the rest of the items, you're going to leave this one there.
Of course.
You just run away.
Of course.
So they just use this as ransom. You cannot, so you leave all the entire 2 tons and sort this one product that is causing problems. So those are some of the problems we face. We also face challenges. The airline may delay. And now of recent, we had airlines not even working. Up to now, we only have, I think, ET or Ethiopian trying to, you know, to bring goods, but others are not even yet working again. Emirates, the Qatars are still, you know, very high. So we have delays by the vessels. My brother's doing sea cargo and then air cargo. You may get delays by the flights. Yeah, you may get delays by the flights. And then still we get problems with storage. And you explain to the client and they will not understand. Now, for instance, you had a delay because of the problems I've told you. And let me talk about sea cargo. You had your goods in bond for over 3 months. they are compiling in storage, or the damage is growing every day because of the delay that you have to first sort. And now after sorting this, most times if you told the client you're going to charge this much, now you cannot charge them an extra fee because of the delay that you had. However, some companies will actually do that. They'll put all the costs, yet sometimes it's even their problem, but they'll put all the costs on you.
The demurrage cost.
Yes, they're like, maybe we had delays in bond, we have maybe more storage costs, maybe we are got on the way by enforcement and we are taken back for re-verification. We also now have this cost on you. So those are some of the problems that the service providers face. And then maybe storage issues. Another big problem is you importing something for someone and you call this person and they leave their goods for 1 year at your store. Yes. Actually, it is the biggest problem that we face in air cargo.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe
they have moved on. They're no longer interested.
I don't really know. You call them and tell them, I'm still looking for money. Month 1, month 2, month 3.
So why don't you auction? Can you auction?
Yeah, you auction, but you don't just auction someone's goods. You at least have to give them a grace period of over a year.
No way.
A year, yes, because you're going to auction it, and this person will show up. I don't even know if they should really find a law for this.
But if you have a contract that says if your items stay in the warehouse for a year, is too long.
And now, you see, now let me give you an example. There's a person I'm supposed to, they had shipped with us ladies' undergarments, and they had a problem. Their parent, the mother got sick, was diagnosed with cancer. So they had to spend a lot of money in the hospital. So we used to call them, the phones are even off because maybe they are going through a very hard time. So now if someone comes up like that and they're explaining to you that you had a contract, but you're still human. Someone tells you, I had my mother sick in hospital, and then maybe I've been offline, I sold my phone to contribute to that. You get what I'm saying? But now I really need these knickers because they're going to help me still now pay this bill. And then you auction them. You're really going to feel bad as a person even if you had that contract. So you have to give them a very big grace period. Over a year. Yes, over a year. I believe so. If some companies are listening to this, they will tell you how many things they have in their stores, especially the air cargo people. Someone gives you over 500 kilograms. And you know, when we say 500 kilograms, you have an investment of over 20 million in those things. And someone will leave them for over 6 months. Someone will even leave them for good. You call them, they will now just see your phone and switch them off. You get, so now that is a communication now. It goes back, communication between me, the service provider, and the customer. Now the customer is the one with poor communication.
What do you do in that case?
We actually have a lot of them. You just keep them for some good time. Give them a very good grace period of over a year. It is okay. You can get your money out in a year. But there are some things you can even auction and never get back your full amount. Yes, there are things you put on auction and never get back your full amount. Because someone is going to leave you with... Now you see now some companies are trying to find a way of going around this. Now someone will give you branded, let me say branded t-shirts of, let me say CEO Insights Uganda. They have over 100 kilograms of branded t-shirts and they leave them with you. Where are you going to auction them?
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now some things like those, some items like those, branded items, we shall ask for maybe 50% before you ship them with us. So that we get that assurance from you. Other things we don't actually charge. You ship in and you only pay when goods are in Uganda already at our office. Yeah, but for things like branded items...
Isn't that a risk also?
It is, but I think that is what this business is about. Yes, because you have the risk from the time you get someone's package at your office up to here. So that's not even the only risk. But you know, you're dealing with the airline. Anything can happen.
True.
So you're still dealing with the risks all the time. But for things like branded items, we shall maybe require like 50% of the payment. Or maybe when someone is giving us a lot of things, maybe about 500 kgs and above 1 ton, you may also tell them to at least pay half deposit. Yeah.
Tell me, you mentioned something and it sparked a question for me. You said that at times some service providers, after they have incurred demurrage charges or other fees, will transfer those fees to the client, even if they were actually service provider fees. To me, that feels like they're cheating the client, right? Are there other things that service providers might do to cheat a client and the client die not that you can share?
Now everyone, I think, does their own things. But I'm going to share my experience when I was a client. Okay, I'll share my experience because it taught me actually a lot that I should not do to a client when I'm in this business, because I faced so many challenges as a client. Remember, before starting this, I was teaching people. Most of the people I was actually helping them to ship. Some people don't even have time. They'll tell you, okay, Brian, buy from me this. And then you have to buy it, find a company to ship it, and then you find problems with this company. So sometimes, especially, actually for both sea cargo and air cargo, someone may add you kilograms that you did not, that are not, when you measure, actually, those kilograms are not supposed to be there. And then someone is going to add you CBM or volume that is not supposed to be on your goods.
Like a fridge is maybe 2 CBM and they say it is 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 CBM.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And then it is actually getting a little bit more complicated for sea cargo, because it is very hard for you now to measure the CBM or to measure the volume than it is for you to measure the kilograms. However much for things like kilograms and CBMs, additions, sometimes it may come from the supplier, because now goods like air cargo goods, sometimes we have to repack. When we see that your things are not safe like this, we can help you repack them. And then we also have to repack those packages. Let me say someone is bringing in a package of let me say 1 kg. It is a very small package. You cannot ship it around and put it on an aeroplane. So you're going to maybe do a bunch of those goods and make it one big package, and then you separate from Uganda. So sometimes maybe the repackaging can increase on the kgs, but someone cannot tell you your kgs have 1 more kg extra. From where? Even if it is the weight from the packaging, it cannot be 1 kg extra. So it should be reasonable. Let me say if you tell me I have let me say 20 kgs and you've done repackaging, or you've put because we have to put another box, and then you have to put a polythene, because these things, you don't know the handling. There may be water or what, so it should not, enter. But then a new box and a polythene bag cannot add 2 kilograms on my packages. At least let it be maybe 0.2, and that is understandable, because when you have a weighing scale, I will have to weigh again and know if this is what is added and this is what I'm seeing on the weighing scale. Yes, and then maybe in the dollar rate, I always tell my clients, if you're not sure of the dollar rate, just go to the Forex Bureau and get the dollars, because most companies that do air cargo actually charge in dollars.
True.
Since this is international business, if I'm charged in dollars by the airline, I should not charge you in shillings, because I may lose some money because of the rate, that transaction. So we also charge in dollars. So let some companies leave people actually bring dollars. Someone will just give you their rate and tell you, now this is my rate. You bring UGX to me. Okay, they don't give you the chance of you going to the Forex Bureau, getting the best rate for yourself, and then just bringing in the dollars, because they know sometimes maybe when you bring in dollars, it is going to, cause that little influx when they go to change the dollars. So they will not allow you to bring in dollars. So I don't know if it is cheating, but some companies will give you a very abnormal exchange rate for the dollar, and they want the UGX, they don't want the dollars. Let me say we agreed, let me say 11 or $10 per kilogram. Someone is going to tell you, okay, you can, let me say you have 20 or 10 kgs, now you have maybe $30 that you have to bring in. Someone will tell you, okay, now for the $30, the exchange rate is 3,900. You get what I'm saying? And then you're like, can I bring my dollars? They're like, no. You get. So I believe so. There are some of the ways and many others.
Have you heard of, what about when it comes to revenue in processing, the tax? In my experience, the one that I was telling you about. So it turns out these people told me, maybe your things were going to cost, I don't know, maybe like $30 in revenue, right? And then the lady called me and said, no, it's no longer $30 now. There was an alert on your items, and they have taken them for re-evaluation.
Re-verification.
And now it is 50 instead of the 30. And I paid the 50 on the way to losing the whole thing, right? But
on the way to losing?
Yes, on the way to, because I lost everything, right? But as it turns out later, I had a friend who works in revenue. So I asked about this particular case. How does this actually work? Right? Investigate for me. And they told me there was nothing. There was no alert. There was nothing at all. The clearing agent simply told me this to make more money out of me. But the thing had actually even been cleared a while back.
Long time ago.
But it was maybe part of this packaging that you're talking about, like a smaller, consignment together with other people. And those others were delaying. That's where mine was also delaying. But this year, the extra 20 that I paid, it was not part of this at all. Have you seen this at all?
Yeah, I believe maybe because this is mostly in Chicago, but I believe most clients have faced this. Sometimes if they are to send an alert, it's on the entire consignment, especially if people are doing groupage. It is on the entire entry. They cannot alert only one product. It may be that product causing that, but they are going to alert on the
whole
entire
thing.
entry. That's what I told you, that someone is going to be leaving your goods there because of only one customer. So it is on the entire entry. It is not only on only your good. Let me say you're taking out the things, you're leaving the bond, and they say now we want only this item. You pack and they remove it and take it back. They take back the entire consignment. It is on the entire entry. So I don't know which tricks he was trying to play on you. I'm not so sure.
And if that was the case, and they've taken it back, and they have charged whoever the person was, right? Because when the guy checked for me mine, he said there's nothing on your thing, but maybe because it is the entire entry, that's fine. But even then, the cost should have been on that particular item within the whole entry, not for all of the people who are included in the entry. I felt cheated, and he actually laughed at me. He laughed at me. He said, these are Bafere of Uganda. So I wasn't surprised that I eventually lost all the things. I wasn't surprised that the company, I don't know if it shut down, but it is no longer in the office space where it used to be. So maybe they shut down. I don't know, but that was my experience. Let me ask you a different question. People go to China mostly to import. But we have people who go to Dubai, Turkey, and all these other places, right? They import, but they also work there as well. We have others who work there, right? Have you seen that this is the case in China, or is it just importation? Are there also Ugandans who are actually working there as well?
Okay, now China is a very big country. I believe, if I'm not so sure of the figures, you may correct me, but it's about a billion people in population. I believe so. So China has enough manpower. I should say now countries like Dubai, countries maybe the UAE and all other countries, they may not be having enough manpower. Actually, some of the Dubai people don't even want to do some jobs. But in China, starting from someone that is sweeping the street, he's Chinese, someone serving in the restaurant, in the supermarket, they have a lot of people actually even still looking for work in China itself. You find college kids actually still also doing business. Because those that have gone to China, I find those college kids there's some spray they have that cleans their shoes. And they are going to be trying to sell you that product everywhere you go. They come and spray on your shoe. Hey, can you buy this? It is very good for your shoe.
Does it work? It works?
It works, but it's a normal product. It's a normal product that any other product can do. So China itself needs employment for their people. And that is number one. That is factor number one why I don't see people working in China doing these normal jobs that we know. And then China as well has the language barrier side. Because trust me, if they've taken you to work in a supermarket that is mostly maybe attended to by Chinese, how are you going to communicate to them? Because some of these other countries actually understand English. But China, it's only people dealing in trade that actually try to understand English. However, I think they're trying to bring up a new generation of English speakers. You find that kids actually know English. It's only the elders that are still, struggling with English. But the kids are learning English in schools. And I think in 10, 20 years from now, I think it's not going to be a challenge anymore because the kids are good at English and they are learning it. But you find there's a problem of language barrier. So now if you cannot speak Chinese, how are you going to do some of the jobs? You cannot be a supermarket attendant. You cannot maybe work in a Chinese homestead. It's very hard for you because you're not going to speak to these people in your language or in English. I also, apart from cargo jobs, I don't see any other jobs that Africans are doing. Maybe restaurant also because they have to cook local meals for the other cultures that go to China. You get, but then when it comes to professions that Chinese do, I think it is minimal. If not zero, it is very minimal. So jobs in China, I should say, are about cargo or logistics, and then maybe about restaurants and the hotel business. That's where I see some other countries trying to come in. But when we look at countries like Dubai and compare where people go for cheyo and all that, I should not say China is the best country for cheyo. Unless it's no. It's not the best country for cheyo, and it's a very strict country It's very strict when it comes to paperwork and all that. It is a very strict country. You may not even get to last a month in overstay in China, and they cannot find you. They can find you whenever they want because they have cameras everywhere, even in the taxis you use, in the trains. So how are you in the supermarkets? Unless you're going to say maybe you not move, you not go out to get food, but they can get you when they want. So, in some countries people go there and just do overstay, and they get through here and there, which is very hard in China. They are very strict. Number one, the language barrier, and then there are no vacancies. Those people have a lot of people. They have enough manpower. They're actually sending them to other countries to do construction and all that. Yes.
Tell me also, when you are in China, do you? Well, I'm sure you do see other, people from other countries in Africa, but what categorization do you see? Like maybe majority groups that you see from which countries?
I believe Nigerians are dominating, especially Guangzhou. I believe you even find a little community of only Nigerians or the West Africans. They are dominating everywhere.
Really?
They are dominating even their trade, because you see, finding someone driving a car in China is very hard if they are foreigners. It's very hard. But you will find most Nigerians driving. Actually, okay, not most, but you find some Nigerians driving cars in China. You find Nigerians are having kids with Chinese, which is very hard for other Africans. So I don't know how Nigerians do it, but they form that community and they have that solidarity. You just find a community, they're all speaking the same language, but they're in China and they live even, more free than the local people in China. They seem to enjoy China even better than the owners. Yeah, so Nigerians and other West Africans, I think, are dominating. Yeah.
What do they import with them when they are sending back?
What do they?
Are they doing the same importation business, first of all? And if they are, what are they sending back to Nigeria?
Now, Nigerians are tricky because actually for us, we know when you go to China, you just have to smile with a Nigerian, maybe just, hi, hello, but you're not supposed to actually get attached to them. Right. Because they do different things that you don't know. They can set you up because you always see police raids on Nigerians and you're like, huh? But what I like about the Chinese police, they'll just come and look for only that one person they want. They will not trouble the rest. Even if you're with them, they will not trouble the rest. But then they are going to, set you up on different things. There are those that do straight businesses, and they're actually those that are now doing what the Chinese are doing. There are those that have factories. Yes, there are some Nigerians that have factories or that are suppliers of different goods.
In China?
Yes, in China. And then there are those that will even rip you off. You think you're speaking to a Chinese, but it is a whole different face behind the phone. And then most of them are doing importation, of course. Some of them are cooking local dishes in China for their people. But to be specific, what they import cuts across according to the demand. Nigeria is also a big population. So they do a lot of importation more than us, or exportation from China to their countries more than us. So they do a little bit of everything. Clothes, you find them in machines, you find them in everything. As long as it needs to be shipped to Nigeria, they always do that. But they are still good people, however. Because if a Nigerian finds you in trouble with a Chinese or anyone, they'll first save you before they even ask which country you're from. Wow. Oh, brother, which country? After they've saved you from that, you get. So they have that good solidarity. They will never leave you if they find you in trouble. They'll first help you and they'll ask, brother, which country are you from? But then you're not supposed to get attached to them. Because anytime, any day, you may think this person has been selling clothes, yet is doing a whole different business from that shop he has. It is just an image. Yeah, exactly.
Have you been stung yourself by this? Have you been affected by this? Or do you know people who have been affected by this association with Nigerians?
Of course, we always hear stories. Some you may know, others you may not know. Because, in China, you have that Ugandan community, but you may even pass by a fellow Ugandan for almost a week and you don't know they're Ugandan because there are so many blacks. So you cannot know who it happened to, but you always hear stories. Yeah, but it doesn't happen always, but you just have to be careful. Even at the airport, because there are some airlines that do stops, or you have that time to rest. Let me say you're doing Qatar and you have a stop in Doha, you have some layover time.
5 hours.
Yes, 5 hours you're waiting. Now, if you're relaxed with your baggage, someone can put in something. And when you reach China, they are trying to smuggle in that. They've put it in. And maybe when you reach China and pass, they will just come and pick it from you. So if you're not careful and you just leave your luggage anywhere, those boys are very sharp. You may get to import something that you are not intending to import into a different country.
True.
And you know that the Chinese are very strict on some things. You may even get life imprisonment there, if not even death. So that's those are some of the examples I may give you. Some people have been given things that they don't even know, but someone has just put it in your bag and you did not notice because you left your bag there. And then when you get to China, they get to detect and they are detaining you over things you don't even know. But it's one boy from the West that did that.
True. Interesting. Tell me, people go to Dubai, they go to Turkey, different places to import, right? Why are you in China specifically? Why not these other places?
Okay, now I should say some countries like Turkey, Dubai, there's Vietnam, they specialize or they are big on production on some particular products. But now China is different, that it has a little bit of everything. You see, Vietnam is so good when it comes to hair. Those that are importing hair, wigs, hair products, wigs, human hair, synthetic and all that. And then Dubai is also good at maybe phone accessories, some spare parts and all that product shipped from Dubai. There are some things that you particularly go for in Dubai. And then we have India also. But then we have Turkey. Turkey is good at textile, clothes.
Thailand too.
Turkey,
Bangkok.
yeah. Turkey, Italy, very good at clothes. But then China does all of them at once. So that is the beauty. But they have all of them actually in surplus. So you find their prices are very low because they have them and in very large quantities. Countries like Dubai, I should be corrected, I stand to be corrected, but most of them actually ship from China and take to their countries. But it's because they're shipping in large quantities though, so they're going to get the lowest prices. Because if someone comes and they're taking over 100 containers in 1 month, because I know of a trader who actually loads a container every single day from China. Loading, because I know that company. That company loads for that client a container every day. It means in a month they take 30 containers. So now these people stand a very, very good price in the market. So it means they can take to their countries and they wholesale again, since they are buying in bulk, because it is a game of numbers if you want to make out of profit. In China, if you're buying a lot of products, you're going to get at the least price. That's why you see some people are saying, no, but then Ngamuchikubo, they are selling this price. Then how come me? Those people are buying very large quantities. Someone is taking containers and containers. They are getting at the smallest figure. So countries like Dubai may import from China, but in this case of those large quantities. And then you also go there to buy, but these products are made from China. And they are just labeled, probably made in the UAE, because that is what they customized. But most of these countries are shipping from there and taking to their countries to wholesale again. So it means China is a manufacturing hub for almost the entire world. The entire world. Most countries are shipping from China, taking their countries to wholesale again. So it means for you buying from the source. If you can manage the quantities, then I think you're good to go. And they have new things coming up always, since their innovation is top notch. So they have new innovations. If let me say it is a fabric, they have new improvements almost every year, new improvements. So it means people that really want to take toll of the market, you can get new products before they're even discovered in your country from China. Yeah, so if you make very good relationships with Chinese, they even make you priority. After putting out a new product, they will alert you first. We have this new design. What do you think about it? I've had suppliers that do that to me because I've been buying from them over time. Whenever they get something new on market, they even have to, ask you during the process of, making this product. Do you think we should improve this or that? Because they know you understand your African market very well of any country. Yeah.
Let me ask the question that has been raised by some traders in downtown. I think it is KACITA that usually raises this issue. We have Chinese manufacturers who are in the country now. They manufacture some of the things that you're describing that people go to import and bring them and deliver them to shop stores, right? The fronts. What do you think about this in relation to your business?
Now, giving a very brief background about China and how I've seen this business and how operations are in China. China has a bureaucracy. You do not just come and reach the factory anyhow. These guys have suppliers now they have factory, other manufacturers. Most of those factories you may not even never see unless you attend the Canton Fair. It may be hard for you to find a factory or to find that factory you're looking for unless you go to the trade show or the Canton Fair. So Uganda, I think, is trying to break this bureaucracy. Now here we don't have any bureaucracy. You may find that someone can even go to the factory and buy 2 pieces, which is not the case in China. In China, these factories have suppliers that get goods from them and then now sell to the final client, adding a very small fraction. And then it makes it even harder that when you go to a factory, you should be able to actually take a certain amount of quantity. Let me say they are starting from 1 container. So it means someone that is taking just 100 pieces of pairs of shoes or 50, you may not even if you reach the factory, it may not help you. So they have that bureaucracy, they have that chain from this one to this one, which we are trying now to kill here in Uganda, that there's no bureaucracy. Even the final person is now coming to meet the final consumer. They are not even now having retailers considered or wholesalers. They are killing that gap. They are occupying that gap. So I believe it may be good, maybe a game changer for the government, I should say. In maybe they have a reason why they are doing that, because they foresee everything that is happening. Number one, I believe it's even killing the tax collection gap or the revenue we are getting as a country. Because if you find someone having a tax holiday, and now they're the ones even put to the front when it comes to sales, they are selling to anyone because they have cheaper prices, and then you're forgetting the trader that is supposed to pay tax. So the trader that is supposed to pay tax is not working, but someone on tax holiday is actually working. So I believe in the long run, it is costing the country itself or the return on revenue, because this person is not taxed for some time, but is suffocating the person that is supposed to be taxed. Because some people are even given waivers for over 10 years or 3 years or 5 years, whatever period of time it may be. But then it is costing the wholesaler or the retailer who is supposed to pay taxes. So I believe that chain is being broken. And then maybe the good part about it, it is helping the final consumer get an affordable priced products. And then it is also killing the importation charges. Because now someone doesn't have to worry about something having to leave China. Those are importation costs or shipping costs. It has to pass through the revenue system to be taxed when it's coming from Mombasa. So all those costs are being cut when it comes to the final consumer. But my suggestion is, we are not against the factories that are coming up, because it is bridging innovation and actually giving more work to our people here. But then there should be bureaucracy, because there can be a factory in Kapeka, but then it is allowed to give to wholesalers in Kampala. I believe wholesalers are very fine with that, other than this factory having its own store where the final consumer goes to get these goods. And then we have now stores opening for not manufacturers, but importers. Let me say someone has a factory in China that makes bags. Now this person is not going to come here and make a factory, but they'll come here and suffocate the market with over 100 containers a month, and that can happen. It means they are bringing in stock at a very cheap price up to here. Almost what they are paying is just the CIF. It's just the buying price from China and the shipping costs, no taxes, because most of them have holidays. So someone is going to bring in goods on the market and just kill one entire industry. Let me say, people that have been shipping in bags. Now we have one Chinese in town that has a very big store. They're bringing in bags, but they're not even paying taxes. So I believe we should just have that chain. We should have that gap. It should not be now filled by the manufacturer. Yeah, since we are all here for business, now if you have your biggest competitor being your supplier in China, because now assume one day you wake up, the person you've been buying bags from in China to import them to Uganda, he's now also he's now also in Chikubo. is your next competitor in your neighborhood or workspace, and has a bigger store like yours 10 times, is now reaching the final consumer. That is what I'm trying to say.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. So in that case, a Ugandan businessman who is importing from China. How can he try to squeeze the supplier in China so that he gets the best price when he's importing?
Now, number one, I believe it is working with your supplier for the longest time. If your supplier is actually working well for you, they are giving you the best quality, they are delivering on time, they are maybe getting you the next designs and maybe quality that you need, and they're doing improvements where you tell them to. I believe you should stick on one supplier over time, because it is going to create a bond between you and the supplier, and it's going to create that natural friendship. Number two, you're going to reach, I believe you've heard so about people that import products and first pay half, they give them, they come and sell and pay the balance. All those that even are given products without paying, all they're going to do is pay tax and shipping. After selling the goods, they send the money to China, or they pay the Chinese supplier. So that is all achieved by you having your supplier and creating that bond over time. And then transparency as well, because if this person is going to trust you and give you their stock without you paying, and they've never even visited Uganda before, and you don't pay them back, then you've killed that. So that is the best way we can get the best out of Chinese. It's one of the examples I can give. Create a very good bond with your Chinese supplier. It is going to set you ahead of your competition. Because if your competitor has to collect over 500 million to have 2 containers here, and you can just tell your supplier, give me the containers, I'll clear after selling. I believe you're way beyond, because you're not using your own capital. I know very many people in town that are doing that. Very many people. That brings me to point number 2. I believe traders in Kampala should now start, this is now high time they started cooperating, and they make corporations where a group of traders is shipping in at once. It is also going to give you a capital competitive advantage compared to your counterparts, because trust me, China is about quantity. If I can import, let me say 20 CBMs myself alone as an importer, 20 CBMs could be maybe a 20-feet container or even less. Or let me say I'm bringing in 10 CBMs whenever I ship. Now 10 CBMs, let me say I have over 30,000 pairs. That's a lot. Let me say I have over 10,000 pairs of shoes. And I'm getting each pair at maybe 7,000. Okay. Now, one day if my supplier tells me, you know what, if you can make over 50,000 pairs, I can actually give you at 4,000 per pair. And that is very possible. They are only about quantity. If I reach out to James, my competitor or my neighbor, I ask them, how many pairs do you bring whenever you ship? They tell me 10,000. I reach out to Jennifer. She's also my competitor, or she's in the same business. She tells me I always bring in 20,000. If we bring our capital together and go to this supplier and buy at once, it means we are going to achieve the quantity that is going to help us get the pair at 4,000. You get this? So we are coming together. Actually, very many importers or traders in Uganda do it, but you never know. Someone will tell you we have offloaded a container, but it's not theirs alone. There are like 3 people in that container. So it is giving you a competitive advantage when it comes to capital, and then getting the best of the prices in China. You're buying 50 pairs, but you're not one person, 50,000, but you're not one person. You're like 4 people. You just put your capital together to maximize quantity so that you get the list of the prices.
So you're saying more traders should start doing that?
Yeah, to come make corporations.
Yes.
Come together, solicit capital, put it together, and get big volumes of stock from China. You'll get the best prices. I've seen that. Those that have gone to China, when you visit Yiwu, Yiwu is one of the cities with cheapest prices. But you're not going to get small quantities from there. Actually, you may even be persuaded because of the prices. But when you reach Yiwu, they're going to tell you, let me say it is one type of shoe, or you're buying shoes and they have over 10 designs that you're buying. Each design has 5 colors. This Chinese is going to tell you, for one design, each color, I sell 100 pieces of each color. You get what I'm saying? They're giving a very good price, very good price. It is so competitive on the market here in Uganda. But they're telling you, you're having one design, it has 5 colors, and each color, I start from 100 pairs. So it means you have to buy over 500 pairs to just achieve one design of shoes. But if you're about 4 people, you're not going to feel that because you're buying over 50,000 pairs of shoes. You bring them here, and your neighbor that did not, cooperate or join you is only having 2 designs. Now you have over 30 designs that he doesn't have. Yeah, so I think that's those are one of the things someone can do. And maybe another thing they can do is try to save on the CBMs. If you feel like you don't need the boxes, let me say you're bringing in shoes, but you don't need this outer box. These shoes have always boxes. Every pair has a box. They only put just one pair. So if you feel like your clients don't really need them, and the price you're selling does not even require you having a box or packing smart, or you can get them from here, leave the boxes in China. Because when you look at volumes or CBMs on sea cargo, the more you feel the more you feel that container, or you take a lot of space, is the more you're charged, because for them they charge the volume of your packages. So you find that you have to load over 20 CBMs, but out of the 20 you have 4 CBMs just of boxes.
Empty space.
Boxes, not even the product. And when you remove the boxes, you can even pile up the pairs and compress. But when you have the boxes, you cannot compress. So let me say you're having 100 packages. After removing the boxes and repackaging, you only have like 20 packages. Yeah, so that's how you can still save and avoid a lot of shipping charges, because there are some charges you may even never get back even after selling. Most people say, you may have go through a lot of taxes and shipping, but at the end of the day, you're going to also impose them on the final consumer. But there are some things charges you may never get back, because you're not going to ship your shoes with boxes, and I didn't ship with boxes. I have paid less for shipping. It means I'm going to sell less in the market, and you're selling expensively in the market. They're not going to buy from you. So other importers or traders will just say, you know what, let me just lose this and clear the stock, because I'm not going to have this stock on me for a year. So someone will say, let me just give up on the charges I incurred. I just clear the stock to get my money out. Because you may sit with the stock because you're selling it expensively to recover the charges, and before you know it, they've brought a brand new design. Now people are moving away from this design that you stocked. So before you know it, and then maybe I should also talk about shipping goods that are high in demand at that moment. The market shifts very fast here in Uganda. When you talk about the fashion industry here in Uganda, or people that sell textile and clothes, you find that you've brought in one design, it is booming at that time. You load your container, the container delays. When it reaches here, people have moved on now. They don't want that design because it is common now everywhere. Yes. So everyone is saying, I'm not going to put on that dress. Everyone is in that dress now, and you shipped in a full container. So keep studying the dynamics according to the industry you're in. That's how you're going to save big and get more profits. Yeah,
I like that. You mentioned that when the Yiwu place, right? There are very low prices there, and you can go there and get all this, right? Do you think it is better for someone who is starting, right? Say, for example, me, if I'm starting, do you think it is better for me to actually go physically to China to see, or should I trust a service provider whom I've maybe vetted to get something from me? What do you think?
Number one, going to China is very good. Actually, I always encourage people to go to China 100%. That's why I even started this initiative of taking people to China with me. But it is dependent on the capital you have. We are not going to say our capital is 15 million. We use 8, 9, 10 million to go to China and stay there for 2 weeks. And then we are only left with 5 million to buy goods. Because your travel and stay in China charges or input should never exceed your capital. You cannot use 10 million to go to China and then buy goods of 5 million. So I believe someone should go to China after they've had their capital together. Or you can go to China if you just want to, if you don't mind the capital, but you just want to see what goes on. Some people actually go to China just to get ideas. So you may not have the idea, so then you shall not mind about the capital. Your first capital, now what we call capital there, is you going to China and getting the idea, because that is also a form of capital. True. You may be here and you're just one step away from getting a business that is going to change your life from China. Actually, when we are in China, there's a product I saw. I will discuss it here because I know there are people watching us that that have that capital. But there's a product I saw. It is made out of corn, maize, maize flour here. And you know, maize is one of the cheapest raw materials in Uganda because we have so many growers here. And it actually reaches a moment when it is now flooding on the market it is, you know. So there's a product I saw, it is a snack, but it is made out of maize. And when you eat it, it tastes like popcorn. But now the popcorn you're supposed to roast, you're supposed to get this the corn itself before it is, processed. But then now here, it is like they process the flour and make a snack out of it. But this flour that we get out of corn, which is, because now most people here think we make these small snacks from wheat, but now this is made from maize flour, which is, I think, a game changer. And it's a very good snack. Yes, I tested it in one of the factories. The first question was, which machine makes this? because it was really sweet. It was really sweet, and the raw material is as cheap as crazy in Uganda. So I was like, there's big money here. Which machine makes this? It was looking very nice and enticing, and then tasty at the same time. So going back to the point, someone should go to China if you have money. It can be a form of capital. If you don't know anything that you want to do, you can go to China and just study. But the best time is during Canton Fair. That's when you can find out other ideas. I went with so many people, and you see they are very impressed with different ideas that we didn't even have here. Someone is going to start it's an egg tray making factory here. And you know, egg trays are these paper egg trays. Yes, and they got the idea from China. So it may not be in a business of buy sell. You may just do a service-based business. You're going to manufacture, put out a product, and sell. You don't have to always keep, bringing in goods there and then, battling with the revenue and shipping companies. Then you can just do a service-based kind of business. Bring in a machine. I always suggest machines on my TikTok. I think people have seen those machines. Yes. So just bring in a machine and start manufacturing, because it is the way to go. If Chinese are coming here to manufacture, it means they've seen the gap in our country. So if you cannot adapt very fast to fill the gap, it's going to be filled by foreigners at the end of the day. Number two, I believe someone should go to China if they've been doing a certain business, it is now picking up, and now they just want to get either the raw material, the machine, or the product they are selling at the best price. Let me say you've been buying bags from Uganda, and now you've really retained a very good client base. But now you feel like the price you're buying from in Uganda could be maybe not doing you a good service when it comes to your take home at the end of the day. So you're like, I think I should go to China, find my own supplier, and get the best of the profits I have to make in Uganda. You can come to China. We can receive you, take you to different suppliers. You choose from the suppliers or the products that you've been seeing or you've been buying here in Uganda. That is person number 2 or number 3. And then I think person number 4 that should go to China is someone that has enough capital. You have enough capital, you've seen a business that is really going to work for you. Maybe you want to start car accessories. Now, I think you've studied it very well and you feel like now this will work. I've not yet started, but I'm going to China to get a supplier or a manufacturer, and I start. You have enough capital. So you're spending maybe 10 million on travel, staying in China and all that, but you're getting stock of over, let me say, 50 million. I believe it makes sense. I believe so.
You raise a good point about these parts that you're talking about coming, and the fact that you do the airline, air cargo. There are cases where people buy their things, and once the cargo arrives at the airport, somehow it vanishes into thin air. What can you say about that?
Number one, it could be the negligence of the clearing agent of the airport, because when you're doing verification, you're supposed to be present as the agent, just to make sure what they are verifying is actually what you told them, because they may verify something and I tell you have this yet you don't have it, so you should be there. So sometimes maybe agents just get relaxed, because during verification, let me say in bond, I'll give an example of Chicago. When you're verifying in bond, there are other people there. When they are there, so someone can pick out something. Someone can pick out something and you don't just give it attention. Maybe because you're watching here, you're watching there. So sometimes it happens. People pick some things. People that are in bond, those bonds that are non-strict. Yes, the workers pick some things when you're verifying and all that, and they can go away. So the agent is supposed to be active during the process. And then sometimes it could be a sample taken off the products, especially for the new products that UNBS has to verify.
Okay.
And then someone does not follow through to see if the sample was returned and all that. Because you could be, some of the products here are not even allocated values because they've not shipped them to Uganda before. So they have to take the sample and then know maybe how much you're going to sell it, how much you bought it, the material and all that. And then sometimes you can even help revenue create a new HS code, which was not in the system before. So they will take this product as a sample. Maybe someone will not follow up to see if it was returned or not. And it will end up. And then another thing can be during offloading and loading of goods. You may be loading goods and one package was not loaded and you did not follow through to see, okay, if it was not loaded, where did it stay or where did it remain? So they may be offloading goods and then one of the products or packages misplaced during that offloading of a container or of an aircraft. It may maybe fall off, or they may get your products and give it to a different product, a different client. So it could be at the airport or at the bond. It could be in China before they load, or at the China office, and then it could be at the office of that company when the goods reach. The goods may reach, and your package maybe may confuse them due to poor labeling, and they give it to a different client. I've got those instances when I was still shipping. I call back the shipping company. I'm like, I have a package here, it is not mine. They're like, oh, take a picture and show me. Oh, please bring it back. You get what I'm saying? And that is how you lose your package. And then it could be also due to poor labeling by clients. There are clients that will send you a product that has no name, no phone number. But then remember, you're still fighting people leaving you with goods at the Ugandan office. But now you're supposed to fight people bringing you products that you're going to ship, and then they'll be left in the warehouse or in the store because they have no phone number. You have no one to call. And this person will tell you, I shipped in my goods with you. It is now 2 months. I'm not seeing my package. But then it's among the packages you left in China because they have no label.
True.
Once you ship it in Uganda, you already count a loss because you have no one to call to pick it. It means you've incurred all the costs, but you're going to keep that package in Uganda. So you rather leave it in China up to when someone claims and you follow through. But then what we do with that, we always advise our clients to label their goods. Actually, when I give you my address, I give you a follow-through message telling you, please label your goods. If they are delicate, they should be packed well and all that information. Because some people don't know they have to label. So you tell them, put your shipping mark as your name and phone number. Another thing is those packages have tracking numbers, but clients forget that those tracking numbers help the courier companies that get your product from the supplier to us in China, not from us to here in Uganda. You get? So that tracking number is only valid up to when your goods reach our China address. Now it is useless. We can only use it when the goods are not seen. Maybe they are still on their way reaching us. That's when you can. But when it reaches and you only have the tracking number, no name. Now for us, we only need the name and the tracking number and the phone number because we're supposed to deliver to you here in Uganda.
And you've already received the
Exactly. So sometimes what we do is we'll put them in the group so that you can identify your package by the tracking number it had. Maybe
to come to your warehouse.
Yes. So you just ask your supplier what was the tracking number that you wrote on my package, because even if they miss your name, they can never miss the tracking number because it helps the courier company bring to us to deliver. So we just write all the tracking numbers on a list, put them in that group for clients, and tell everyone that doesn't have a name on your package, just use these tracking numbers. You tell us the tracking number, and then we write the name and phone number in case you forgot. So there are some of the things that get packages misplaced, missing. Some may even never be delivered. Yes, you may order a package, they give you the picture, and it does not reach us in China. It is delivered to a wrong address. So this is international business and logistics. A lot of complications in here.
Can happen.
Yeah, because we've had packages delivered to our neighbors, to the neighboring addresses and doors, and you look for the package here, and this client is saying, but the supplier told me they delivered. Yet the company that they gave to deliver delivered to a wrong address altogether. And after a month, that's when you discover this package was delivered to a wrong address. And then you go to get it. The good thing in China, someone will never take a package that is not theirs. Just like I've told you, because if you take let me say my neighbor is a Nigerian taking goods to Nigeria. That's the neighboring office. If they give them a product that has a Ugandan number, they are not going to take it to Nigeria, because who are they going to call to give them their money after investing? So they'll just leave it there.
True.
Yeah, when you're looking for it, you'll get it. That is if you even get to know that's where they delivered it. Yeah, so that is what causes those misplacements and missing goods. Yeah.
I have a separate question. So far we've talked about business, importation and all that, right?
Sure.
For people who want to go to China, not for those reasons, maybe tourism, right? What can you say about that?
China is a very diverse country when it comes to culture, the infrastructure, their social activities and tourism at large. Because once you look at the some of the great wonders of the world, I think you have the Great Walls of China.
Yes,
their tourism is good. It's a very big country. It means it has a lot to offer. So if someone just wants to go for tourism, I believe it's a very good destination, and it is actually very easy to get a tourist visa to go to China. Yeah.
Really?
China is one of the countries that has no problems with giving out visas, because they know they are traders.
You're bringing money.
You're bringing money. You're bringing money. Actually, you have somewhere you have to declare that money that you bring in. So people should know. Let me say you can even go to China with over 10,000, 100,000, 200. Some people even take $1 million with them in cash, and it is as safe as that. You just declare your money. You show that this is the money I've entered with, and they'll return your money. They'll just keep the record, just in case you get any problems. True. They can help you track. True. You cannot claim you had $1 million, yet you did not declare it. How sure are you had it?
And when you declare, they will check first.
Yeah, they'll first check to verify, and then they will just have you fill a form. This is the money, and then you just enter. So I believe tourism is very good in China. You can just go on tour. You can be doing maybe a business tour. Maybe you're trying to look for some machines or processes and all that, and then you just go to tour and see how the factories work, how do they function. You see, the people I went with, I had people I went with on this recent flight that are in different industries here. Some are in the food industry. They have their own restaurants, hotels, and bakeries and all that. So someone will just go to China to see how do their restaurants operate.
Or to go and buy
a
meal, sit
there and be served. Yes, and see. Because they own a restaurant in Uganda or a hotel, and they know China is very good at restaurants, and their food industry is good. Someone will just go and sit and just watch. Okay, so this is how they manage to serve all clients at the same time without delays. They note that. Okay, this is how they maintain the food warm all through. They note that. So that is the kind of tourism they are doing, because they're trying to improve their business back home. So they're just going to see research. So yeah, just to do research. And then the other activities that as well people go to do. Some people just go to study in China.
Education.
Yeah, China is one of the few countries that really give good scholarships.
Yes.
And it has good courses. When it comes to engineering, we have some in Chinese here doing our roads and all that. Yes. So they want engineers. They are very good at their medicine. India, I think India, Germany, China, they are very good at their medicine. Their medical industry is very good. So. If you have children out there, China is one of the countries that gives scholarships. Actually, in the near future, we are going to start helping people that want to get scholarships in China. However, we are still doing extensive research before we bring out the service. But I believe China is one of the countries that gives scholarships to African students. So it will be, I think, very good for our parents here. We are doing extensive research, but Bryan Logistics company will avail that chance soon enough. Not later than next year, we shall have that avenue for parents to take their children to China to study. And then some other people actually go to China for medication. Yeah, I had a client who wants to go for I think a dental surgery or something like that. And they prefer going to China. So you may just go to China to get medication. Yes, to get medication. Whenever I have maybe anything disturbing me, I have a lot of issues with my eyes. So whenever I go to China, I always find chance to go to a hospital, because I know their services are very good. So when I'm in China, I always use that chance to go to a hospital and, just do everything I have to do there, because they are cheap in their treatments and they are very good at what they do. So I always wait. If something is not of an emergency, when I go to China, then I work on it. So some people just go there for treatment. Someone just say, I have this, but I think I need to get an appointment with an hospital in China, and I'll just go there. And then some people just go to experience that culture. That culture. Someone had people are eating snakes in China. they're eating whatever. So they're eating snails and all that. Maybe this person heard about the monks. In the Shaolin temple. They just want to go and experience that. They want to go and probably shave off all their hair and just be monks I don't know, because people have different, So you can just go there, just experience the culture, see how Chinese people behave, and all this part of tourism. And it's one of the easiest visas to get. We actually help you work on those visas if you want. Yes.
So anything to do with China, we should talk to you first.
Anything to do. Yeah, even if it's you're working on your visa, we can help you.
How often do you travel to China yourself?
I believe because I have an office there and here, so I have to balance the two. So I think I travel after 1 or 2 months.
You're alternating.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we also have a team in China.
Yes,
so in case you're in a hurry, there are some people that want me personally to get their goods.
Of course, I will tell you, if anyone has seen you on the channel and they want to import from China, it has to be you.
Yeah.
They might not trust anyone.
Yeah, but still, my team is trained by me, and we do the same thing, and they do everything following what we really put to the front. So
let me take you back to the beginning. Sure. How did you start this business yourself?
Okay, I've had a background of exploration, and I've been this type of, I should say, child from when I was still in school that wanted to try things to make money, like so many different things, but especially online, because my point was online. I've tried so many things online. I've tried so many things, trying to do them online and all that. I've been teaching myself different things online since I was in a very competitive environment, with my counterparts. You're growing up with boys, they're trying this, that. So you're also, looking for a way of how you're going to, go through all this. So I was doing online, first Facebook. We were trying to sell things online. We actually tried affiliate marketing, but still I had mentors. I had people that were trying to, teach me this is how you should use Facebook, TikTok, all through till I started this. But it gives that background that I was trying a little bit of everything, especially online. Yes, when it comes to making money and try to find something new and making a living out of it. So I started doing some research about shipping things from China to Uganda, but using different applications. There are so many. There's 1688, there's a Pinduoduo, there's Alibaba, there's so many, AliExpress and all those. Most people know them. But then I looked at Alibaba being one of the easiest, since it is in English and it is a B2B platform. It is business to business. It can sell, a business on Alibaba can sell to a business on in any country, which is not the case with AliExpress. That is a B2C. It is mostly business to consumer. They're selling one product, two products. It means they have a higher price because they are selling to final consumers and businesses mostly. So being an inquisitive person, curious, going here and there, that's when I had to go and study about importation, but by these applications, and then got to realize the possibility of me having companies I can buy and give my things to ship here. Actually, even before most people got to know that, people used to not only sea cargo mostly, but then I actually discovered the air cargo companies before. Before even the sea cargo companies. I got to know air cargo before sea cargo, since I was shipping in small items. And now that's where actually now people can, realize that air cargo companies, in a collaborate here, and this one is like this. But back then, people were not even, they would just wait and buy things from here. So I started teaching people in 2003, that is after I think a year after my graduation. I started teaching people on TikTok. So when you go back, those that have been following me since I started, you've been seeing those small upgrades from where we started teaching people how to use Alibaba. And now I start with no capital at all. All I had was my phone and internet connection. So I made my first class, and I was charging people about 50,000 for that class. So at first, I just started to I started just with that idea of just having a digital course, a class. That was the idea all through. And then up to when I saw it was really working out for people, I was like, okay, now since I'm giving so many clients to these shipping companies after teaching them, how do I also gain from that? Because they will not give you anything. You just recommend people, and that's all. So I taught people for about 2.5 years. I started with online classes, or that digital course. Actually, people picked at that very fast. Very fast. I was getting so many people reaching out to sign up in a day. And as a fresh graduate, this was a game changer. I was very happy making the first 10 million in a month. I was like, what is happening? I had to call my dad there and then, tell him, what I made this month? Like, I made this much. I was like, yes, on my first month. And I had no capital, I'm telling you. I had no capital. But then if I was charging 50,000 for every enrollment, and I had over 10 people signing up a day, that is approximately 500,000 on a very good day. And this was me in my single room after campus, trying this, trying that. You're trying this, it is failing. You pick up on this. Affiliate marketing is trying to work, but it's not giving you that much. Then you're getting into digital courses, and that's when I create this breakthrough course for me. It was really a game changer. I sold it for over 1.5 to 2 years. Then I started doing physical conferences. Now people had really started, connecting with me a lot. I had, put out so many students that now even had testimonies. They're shipping in things already. So, it even made my work easier. I started doing the physical conferences. Now I was very scared of the physical conference because I was like, okay, now people have been seeing me online. I've never even spoken out at a party, not even at a wedding, nowhere. But then I'm trying to tell people we are going to have a physical conference addressing this. People are positive. What am I going to do? This is my first time doing public speech, you get. But I had friends that I was working with by then. I had a team. Of course, you pick up friends on the way and all that. So, they give you ideas. I think you can do this and this. So I hold my very first conference. The very first conference I had was at Okla Hotel, that is Mengo. So now we booked a room of 100 people. The room was 100 people. So we sell out all the tickets. The 100 tickets, we sell them out and they are sold out. Kumbe now, some of the people maybe just don't trust us to send the money, buy tickets before the event. They are planning to come on the event itself. So we prepare everything. We get the service providers, the meals and all that. On that day, the conference was starting at around 9. By 8, the biggest number of people on the entrance didn't have tickets. Now it means we had to wait for the people that have the tickets.
Because they already booked.
They had already booked.
And the hall is for 100 people.
100 people. Now this is how we are getting people standing on the sides, on the, leaning against walls and then putting chairs that were not supposed to be there.
All those people showed up?
Yes, over 200 people, over actually 250 people in a room that's supposed to take 100 people. Whoa. That picture you see there of people seated very close to themselves. Whoa. Because we didn't have space, and actually some were sent back home. That was my very first ever physical conference. Now I go on to make my second conference because I had realized now this event is really small for me.
True.
I went to Equatoria. Equatoria has a very big hall, over 200 people now. I go to Equatoria for my next conference. That was 2024, January. I make another one, I think in July, June or August, I don't remember very well. And then this was also another flooded, conference. So many people coming in. We have so many people filling up the hall and, even extending behind to over 300 people. I've had, I think, about, in a due course, I've had over, I think about 6 conferences until my very last conference. That was, I think it was it last year in August? I think it was last year in August. That's when I had my last one. So now I gave up. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to only do online conferences now. So before all that, that's when I get ideas of now starting to bring things for people, because now the people that are fearing, of course, they've learned. Some don't have that time. Some still feel like they are risking, yet they've learned everything. That first time encounter. So they feel like they cannot really order on their own. So some will come and say, Brian, I want you to order for me. I want this and this and this. So I go on to study the market and say, okay, now people want this and this and this. These are some of the things that they want always. Now I start importing these for people in groups, just helping them, just like I'll explain how people save buying in groups. So I said buying for these people in groups, because it is helping us to get to their biggest quantities, and then we are getting the least prices as well. So I said buying for people in groups. Now this is when I get the idea of going to China. So I said going to China because I had got some problems of one supplier that gave me poor quality. So I'm like, you know what? I think now I have to go to China. It's high time. So I started traveling to China. I started traveling to China in 2024. I went to China. I got so many friends, because when I'm in a new environment or I'm trying to learn something, I first make friends. Okay. So I left China, I had friends there. So I came back this side, they would always go and do the verification for me from suppliers. So I used to go back, back and forth, up to when I was like, you know what, why don't I start now something? Because I'm giving all my clients. You see, I told you I had over, I think I've taught online, over 2,000 people. I cannot count, but of course, you have those statistics because you have them in that group, you have them for the sign up and all that, and you have those figures. Registration and all that. So I think I've taught over 2,000 people in the past 3 years now. So this is when I started realizing I'm giving all this traffic to these shipping companies, and at the end of the day, I'm not gaining anything, because I used to bring them to my conferences free of charge.
The shipping people?
Yes, wow. I used to bring them to my conferences, because now me, I was not caring about that. You see, I was just doing a conference, and then I have to bring in these people to explain their part. So now I'm like, why don't I set up a shipping company? Since I already have clients I've been buying for, and they've actually been finding problems when I, recommend them. Why don't I start doing this? So I had a team of friends in China that started doing that research. How do we go about this? How do we start? How do we get an office? How do we register and all that? I think it's really made this work easier for me because I had people there. So I used to go work on a few things. I come back before they are done. I do my conferences, go clear with URA, do this, do that, up to when we established last year. And then we decided to bring things for people. And I think that's pretty much about me summarizing the journey. But a lot of things I've not talked about in the interest of time, but so many things that kept on happening. Sometimes you get challenges, you address them. Sometimes you learn the hard way, then address it at the end of the day. But the solution was not quitting. I think after when we, because sometimes you really feel like you have to quit.
Yes.
But then you're like, now, I'm having so many people I'm working with. You have so many employees now. If you decide to quit, they're also looking up to you. It's like you seeing your dad. Let me say something has happened, and then your dad is the first to run away. So you also question your safety. Yeah, so that is what happened. That's how I joined this business, and it's how I actually started Bryan Logistics as a brand. The name comes from the fact that I had used my real names on the account, and it's what they knew. So I would not come up with something new that they can't relate to. Actually, when you look at our branding and all that, it has my face, because when we have these people that go to the markets. So the markets, I mean, going to the shops downtown, because that's where our clients are. Whenever they reach there, you tell them, "Oh, this is the brand on TikTok. Okay. Now you can give me the flyer."
They recognize you.
Yes, because now I got to know the fact that now these people have seen me on TikTok. Some of them, of course, not all, but then now they realize this is the face they've been seeing, and when they hear someone is reaching out to them about importation from China or air cargo, if they see this face, they will have something to attach it to, and they will, the reception will be easier. Yes.
Do you actively market? Do you go to actively market yourself, or do they mostly come to you?
You mean the clients coming to me?
Yes.
I do a lot of marketing online. A lot of marketing, because I've been marketing for over, I think, 3 years now. Up to now, I still market. Yes. I basically I do TikTok mostly, and that is Bryan Logistics. That is the page. I've been marketing since I started up to now, and I still market. I even have a team of people on ground that go to take our flyers, the fans, and all that.
Really?
Yes, downtown to market.
Really?
Yes, I have a team of people that go downtown to market and to make sure we are on ground and online. Exactly. Yes, I have a team of marketeers.
They go shop to shop in the malls.
Shop to shop in the malls, downtown Ham. They go to Wachiseka, Sacha Maria, Pioneer, Coach, all those buildings in town, because that's where our clients are.
Looking for clients to ship with.
Yes, to ship with us. Yes. We still go
I didn't think you would be going to that level.
We do an extra mile. So I'm here marketing online, and then they are on ground also marketing. So when someone sees that flyer, having that image, they can relate to. The reception is even easier. Yeah, because there's a very sometimes I think there's a very bad image when it comes to shipping and all that. So you need to have a unique factor for a good reception. Yeah, and now this is where we are now even trying to improve on our service delivery. When it comes to service delivery, amidst a very big competition in the market. Yeah, so it is only us, I think, that award points to clients that ship with us. And then with time, a client can actually ship a free package with us if you've collected points. Yes, you have reward points. So with time, a client can actually ship a free package of maybe say 2 kgs, 5 kgs free. Or if you've gotten or collected your reward points, you can even give them to your friend to ship a free package with us. Exactly. Yeah, we are the ones with that website where a client can go and just search for where their package is. We are that company where someone will even just win a free free shipping offer. We have pop-ups almost every week whereby you can just go and grab a free offer if you're very fast, or you can spin and win a free shipping offer. Yes.
What did your dad say when you called him to tell him that you made 10 million in 1 month?
Of course, he would not believe me, because first of all, he knew I don't have a job. It's like, 10 million from where? Nagamba, na hizo sente zigulemu ettaka. Tozonoona zigulemu ettaka. I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. But this is my first money. I'm also still excited and all that. But of course, I just had to make the best decision, because I'm this type of person who, I think when I was growing up as a youth, I think I missed most of the stages that, my age mates used to go through, the clubbing, the what, because even up to now, I don't drink. So I missed some of those stages since I'm so introverted. So that, I think, kept my mind active on different things. I used to focus a lot still back then when I was still a kid, because I was so eager, because I did mass communication. And I'm graduating, I'm like, where am I going to get a job from a TV or a radio? No one knows me. So I'm really trying so hard to see that I find something I can do on the side if I get a job. And that had to be online, because you cannot be working a job and then you have another physical side hustle. Since you're a child who doesn't even have enough capital, I think your run too should be online, because it's zero capital or little capital required.
Did he ask you about exactly how you made the money?
Yeah, he did. And I explained to him, I actually showed him my channel, because I remember the very first 3 days to 5 days, I don't remember how many, when I started making those videos, I had so many people calling me in a day. In a day, I would, I think, receive over 100 calls. In a day. Yes. So I think on the 3rd or 5th day, I had a burial in the village, because we had lost my auntie. So I went to the burial. So I think he realized my phone was
vibrating a lot.
Always I was just picking calls. And then when I told him, it was very easy for him to relate. I told him, I'm doing online and this is what I'm trying to do. I showed him, was, hey, okay. Are you sure? And then I think he really perceived it well. And he just told me, just make sure you use your money very well. And then make sure you're doing the right thing. Yeah.
And now, what does he say now? Or your friends?
Okay, right now, I think he's getting used. He's just so impressed by the continuity. Like me trying to grow from one step to another, because he's always watching. Now, probably TikTok, go. Yeah, you get. Sometimes he's always watching. You know how those parents are on TikTok. So I think he's also impressed by how I'm trying to take this on, and every day, because you always have to be adding something new to the market every day. It is a very competitive market that I'm in, very competitive and very delicate. So I think he's just impressed by the way I'm trying to go through things that he didn't even tell me himself I should do, and he's just seeing me trying to create connections. You get, yeah.
I think that's a proud moment for him.
Yeah, sure.
It will be for any parent for sure.
Yeah.
It's quite proud moment.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for you. I'm very impressed
Sure.
and very excited for you as well.
Sure.
When I look at the work that you've done, really congratulations are in order.
Sure.
From where you started to where you are, it's very strong. And I like that. The teachings that you have done for all this time, for over 2,000 people and all that, right? What kind of reception have you seen? What do people say? What is their feedback generally over all these people?
I think from the time I started up to now, people have really perceived this in the best way possible. Yeah, because I would not have had people signing up for this. I would not have had people coming for conferences. I would not have had people recommending me. I've not, maybe I would not have had clients per se, because you just have to build a client base. So if what you're doing is not really good, you may not have clients at the end of the day. I would not even have gone to the next steps if this was not really perceived well. I would not have said, now let's start shipping, now let's start doing physical conferences, because what would happen would actually give me the next step. Because I said with online classes, if they're not maybe received well, I would not go to the physical conferences. If the conferences were not received well, I would not go to and outsource and bring in goods for people. So I think it has been a very good and promising journey for me since I started, that people have been, reciprocating this back and in a positive way. And I think they've been perceiving it in a very positive way. We are giving it a chance and a try. The fact that for most of the people this was a new experience. No one knew I can really ship things from China at this money. Actually, people used to really fear importation. But now it's we've opened people's eyes at least to see that this is really possible, because we also didn't know, and through try and error you get to realize something, and like chitegeeza bujjo si bizibu just balina kubanga mmanyi kino eno. So in a long run, so I believe people have really gained from this, and I really commend people to try out new things, and because if you don't do something, you may actually fear it up to when you start it, or up to when you get mentored about it, and you actually say it is easy. Because back then, 2-3 years before, I would not sit here and comfortably talk about anything without looking anywhere. But now, over time, experience gives you that, whereby you don't even have to ask yourself a lot. You just have to remember, from this experience, okay, this is. So I believe it has helped people start up some businesses, and those that have really gone through everything, the hardships, and stayed, have actually grown multi-million businesses and shops. I have so many clients that I don't really want to put off here, but are really making some good money, and I'm proud of them. Someone, I think in 2025 or 2024. Actually, I was just there and someone sent me money and then called me later. After 2 hours, I'm saying, who sent me this money? I don't know. I was only listening. So this person calls me and said, Mr. Brian, genda ogulemu KFC. I'm like, okay, genda ogulemu enkoko. I'm like, okay. So and so. He brings incubators and he's making big time money. Because incubators with some of our farmers now, they're getting to adapt that they should not hatch for them chicks. They can also do it themselves. So he's really making big time money. However, right now he's not my client. That's the worst thing, because he's doing sea cargo and I do air cargo. Because he ships in heavy stuff. Yes, so that's the only thing.
And he grew.
He grew now. He actually even takes pre-orders. They give him money before and he orders according to your specifications. So he's making some good money. I have other students I have a student doing jewelry. She actually just bought a new car this very year. So they're doing well. The few that I'm still in touch with. And then some others also now entered shipping as a business itself, and they're also doing great. I believe people have really received this very well, and it has changed some lives directly and indirectly. Maybe even those that started and are now really making money are maybe employing other people. So that is indirectly also benefiting other people. And I think this has also added, I believe there has been a break I've put on expanding knowledge about importation in Uganda. Because when you look at TikTok, I think I have the biggest importation related channel. Like the biggest followed about importation. So I believe I've added something about people, getting to learn about importation, and then people getting to know that you can actually import in your country, and then you should not fear taxes. You get some people who are really scared by taxes. you're going to ship from China. You need very big capital. You need to be renowned. You need to have maybe a certain level of education. But now it's really easy for people to ship in. So I believe I've also contributed to the revenue system, because when you look at the people I've really taught, and most of the people I've taught, at least I've tried to ship.
Yes.
And then about the actually last year, Alibaba reached out
to you.
Yeah, they reached out. Okay. They reached out. Someone stays in the US. I think it's their marketing director or something. They reached out because they had a new product called Astio. It is an AI that helps you when you're sourcing products from Alibaba. So they reached out. We had to work on something, but I think that product failed them. But they reached out to me by email. We talked. Yeah, at least I felt recognized, at least in a way. Maybe they went on looking for people that talk about Alibaba in different countries a lot, and probably they landed on my videos. Wow. So they reached out. We talked about their products. They had to launch it in Uganda, but I think they're still developing it. Yeah. So I think I've also helped. Alibaba, I think I've really added to their downloads. I don't know to what percentage in Uganda, because most people had first Alibaba from me. Some people, others of course knew Alibaba before they were using it. But I think I've talked about it a lot. But in all my conferences, I've been teaching. All the online students have enrolled. Have all been learning that how not to be scammed on Alibaba, about verifying their suppliers, and all that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. What would you say have been the greatest things that have either surprised you or shocked you since you started this business?
One of the things that have actually shocked me is the reception. I didn't know really people will receive this idea.
That surprised me too, that you would have a packed hall with people in the corridors. That surprised me.
Exactly. So that was very much of a surprise to me, because that was my very first conference. And I was like, okay, so now the numbers online are really real people. They are real people engaging with my content and all that. And then what surprised me is I didn't know probably someone can make a name and they're still doing a business. You get because now you go somewhere and then someone can recognize you from TikTok before you even tell them. So that was also a very big surprise, because since you started something and you're just doing your thing, but then you find it has added on your social capital as well. People are getting to recognize you when you move around. Actually, even in China, I find people that recognize me. When you move and someone can. It was very, very much of a surprise, because I was not ready for that.
And you're an introvert, you say?
Yeah, I'm an introvert. So someone will find you and they can recognize that, hey, Brian.
You're forced to talk to them.
Yeah, you're forced to talk to them. Oh, you get what I'm saying. So maybe another thing that really surprised me is that most of our Ugandans were actually just blinded by the fact that they just didn't have some information. But then when they got the information, they actually really tried to, participate in this, because I think at first they just didn't know what to do. That's why they thought everything was hard. But when they got the information, I think the turnover was really very big, and it's still, expanding each and every day, because we always get new clients that haven't even imported before. We always get new clients, almost fresh every day. And now that's why we've decided now to put a free class. So now we are going to be putting out a free class, and it's going to be, I think, launching this very month. It will be still on our website. Free, teaching everyone how they can ship free of charge, because now we want to remove that limit or barrier. Of course, at first, it would have been a course that we are, doing and then telling people. But then at the end of it all, you're trying to realize some people are not learning because probably just don't have resources. But someone can get the capital to start. And then we are also charging because it helps us sieve out the serious people. And then also give that accountability to the person that, okay, I've learned, but have I just learned and then I'm just going back home to sleep? They still have accountability because they paid for it, so they want to really take action. But then we're going to put out a class that is free of charge that anyone can get at any time. And I think I'll be communicating that still through my page when we've launched the website and it is up and running. And then I think what surprised me is you can actually still be cheated even if you know it all. Because I've also been cheated sometimes. Yes, you think you know it all, but then there's this Chinese that plays you, and
you
you're
learn
like, hey, how did I really not see this coming? You get? So you think you know it all, but then you're surprised by someone at the end of the day, and it's like, you know what, you didn't realize this was coming, and you know, you're just swept off your feet. And then another surprise I got from this is, I think, is how the system here actually sometimes will try to favor us, and we just can't know, because people really complain, you are a revenue, what, but I believe the infrastructures have been improved, you know, to suit the business itself, and because I believe there are other countries that may be even harder than you know on importation than Uganda, and at the end of the day, they have to collect taxes at the end of the day. But then you see now here, even someone having a very small shop can operate.
Yes.
But there are some countries whereby they are very tough on licenses and all that. But here you find someone operating without a license and they're making a living, you get. So I believe they put that environment for starters to at least also, you know, do something for their for themselves. And it's not really a matter of, you know, squeezing out all the juice from the fruit. At least they are not. Yeah, the government has put that avenue, at least. It's letting people try out different things, because I've been putting out all this information, but you know, you never get someone stopping you. I've actually had security on my conferences. Yes, I've had security, because probably they find this adding value to the youths and all that. And yeah, that was also a surprise, since I was new in business. I thought it's going to be really a lot on me, but it has really been good for people. I've been teaching, they've tried out, and they've started, and I think the start was not bad up to where they are right now. Cool. Those are some of the few surprises. I think the rest I'll just get later, but for now, a few here and there. Yeah, and then maybe I didn't know that someone can really go to a different country and start up a whole business. So it was also
your office out there.
Yeah. It was also a very different surprise to me. You can now start, and you have a business operating in a different country, and you're also in a different country, and that whole thing. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I particularly like when you said that you're starting free classes where people can do this. It tells me several things. But first of all, it tells me that you have reached that point of, or you are approaching that point of actualization, where you want now to give back to the community. That's a very positive thing. Many people actually, when they see, or some business people, when they see that their online thing or physical thing is working, they will double down on it.
They'll double.
Increase the price, make sure we let's squeeze all the juice from this one. But you are actually saying, that's enough juice that I've had, let's give it away for free. So that one, thank you on behalf of those who cannot afford, right? Which actually ties me into my next question. The person who is watching, who is unemployed, you know, we have a huge percentage of youth who are unemployed in the country, right? What message do you have for them?
I think I'll wrap that up in just a few words or sentences. I think it's about exploration. If you're willing to pay the price to explore, I believe there are so many opportunities out there. Because what I was doing is trying a little bit of everything. I try this, I try that, you try this. Of course, not everything will work. Everything you try to do or achieve is going to work. But as long as you're willing to pay the price to, you know, get knowledge about different things, you know, because at the end of the day, we may not say you're unemployed, because that is, I think that's just a statement and a state of mind. To me, there's no one that is unemployed, because must you be employed? Anyway, must you be employed anyway? Point, yes. What if you employ yourself?
Point,
yes, you should not be employed. So I believe that is just a mindset. If you're willing to try out something new almost every day, if you're willing to learn something new, because you may see yourself stuck in one point, but you're just a few words or a few conversations with your neighbor, to change your life, because they know what you don't know. So as long as you're willing to pay the price, as long as you're willing to explore,
put in the effort.
Yes, to put in the efforts, I believe you can create something for yourself. Yes, because me, I started by just one single idea, and then I started selling the course, and I did not have any capital. I just sold the course, and I told my dad, this is how much I made a month. He was also surprised. So because he didn't see me applying anywhere, or he didn't see me, being appointed anywhere. So that is the case. As long as you're willing to explore and then give it a try, and don't just sit down. Because even up to now, I'm still looking at adventuring in different things. I'm trying real estate. I want to enter the food industry. I want to enter manufacturing.
The other cookie that you ate?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, something like that. And we're also starting the biggest juice brand in town, because we realize most people really take juice on a daily, and people are getting to realize they need to leave the sodas and all that. So they want this natural and organic juice. So we're starting the biggest brand in town. So another thing I should maybe tell a youth out there who is seeing me, that is saying they are unemployed, probably is to just not let go. In case of just a very simple obstacle, someone is going to leave something they've been growing for 2 years, and they start, because whenever you start something new, there's a fresh start. It means you're starting with new problems. You have to find new solutions, but then you're leaving something you've been building, and you found the problems already. You're actually working on the solutions. Now you're going back to ground zero. So if you're trying something and it has hopes of working, you may find obstacles, but you just have to go through. Because me, upon our business has so many obstacles. Since it is international business, you're dealing with different stakeholders that are going to delay things. I know the client will hold you accountable, but then you have to really step in, and you're like, you know what, I'm not quitting, I'm just finding a solution for this. So if you have something you're trying out, it is working, just give it your whole, just give it time as you also try to explore. But don't jump from one thing to another before you even learn what you're going to do next. So I believe people watching me out there, it is just a matter of exploration. Just get to learn what you don't know, because I think income lies in knowledge, and you cannot say you don't have money when you're not selling anything. So yeah, if you're selling anything in exchange, it could be a service, it could be a good, but as long as you're selling something, and then try to skill yourself. Apart from what you learned in school, find one or two skills you attach on yourself. Because I did mass comm, I did media, but then I got to learn how to market. That's why I told you I was on Facebook, I was on TikTok, we are doing WhatsApp marketing in groups. I learned how to market. It is one thing you cannot remove from me. Even if you put me in a desert and give me a phone and internet, at least I'll market one thing, because I can do affiliate marketing. I can sell someone's product even if I don't have the product, and I make my cut off it or a commission, and I'm good. So if you studied, let me say, BBA, you did medicine, you did, just get a skill that you can add on that. You can do interior design. You start interior design, because you see, when you watch fast growing industries, we have we have the construction industry and all that. Real estate is growing rapidly. So at least get somewhere you fix yourself. Are you an interior designer? So that when these people are building apartments, you can go and design those units. Yeah? You're fixing yourself in a very fast growing industry in Uganda. So just try to add a skill. Anytime you can add a skill, you can start furniture. You can, by the way, some things are very easy, but people think they are hard. You can even start making wigs. Just go to YouTube. Now we have channels like these that will give you free knowledge. Someone will come here and discuss their experience of 5 years, and you get it in 1 hour. True. If it is hair, you can just go Google search or YouTube search how to make a wig. Even if a viewer from here would go and search right now how to make a wig, I believe they'll find a video about that. So just equip yourself with knowledge that you think is actually hard, but it is on the internet. Because me, I just did my research. I just went and did my research about something that people used to think is so complicated and hard, and I figured it out. And that is the only way you can.
And started the course.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Thank you for coming on the show, Brian.
Sure.
I have definitely enjoyed your presence. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot as well. I wish you success, continued growth, and more teachings, more free courses, and more clients as you continue to grow.
Sure. I'm so delighted, and actually, I was so excited coming here, and the excitement has taken through the entire time.
Yes.
I appreciate the team and everything. Very organized team, very good at communication and committed at what they do. There's a lot of perfection here, and I believe all viewers have really gotten a lot of insights from this as the as the channel suggests, the insights. Yeah. So this is me giving you all I knew from what I'm doing and my entire experience, just wrapped up in one video. And this is actually, most of these are so personal that you will not find me sharing, but I've just shared because I need everyone to get to understand this. And I'm really so blessed that you had to pick me out of so many people and given me this chance. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.